Treat others the way you want to be treated. The sun rises on the east, but then it sets in the west.
I'm also Unk status now. Hello Ludwig, happy birthday.
A bird in the bush is worth two. Chat, what is up? Welcome back to the stream. How y'all doing today? If you guys don't know, I turned 30. And because of that, I have a lot more wisdom than you guys. I'm no longer in my 20s, you know? Made a lot of mistakes in my 20s. That's all gone now. Because I'm 30. And I'm wise as shit. So. Anyway. Now I don't have wrinkles. I'm also not in a midlife crisis. Anyway, chat, how you doing? This feels kind of weird. And I'm not sure how this works now. I just kind of feel above it all, you know, being 30 and whatnot. Nah, seriously, guys, I'm focused on some like new shit. Specifically, influencer merchandise. I've become infatuated with the idea. I find it, in my wisdom, to be one of the greatest things. If you guys haven't heard of influencer merchandise,
My damn sub
it's
almost
a
32.
way. Shut up. It's a way to buy. Sorry, it's a way to buy clothing at a premium, and knowing that your money will go to a poor millionaire's home. Anyway, we drop new merch if you guys want to buy it. Gang, 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 gang. It's July. By the time it gets to you, it'll be winter, bro. Don't act like I'm fast at shipping. What do you think?
You're my mans.
Yeah, we're selling it in July. By the time USPS comes to your house, you've already posted 4 times on Reddit, and it's winter. It is what it is. What size do you have on right now? I'm 6 foot. I'm 185 pounds. I'm wearing a large Ein hoodie, which is probably my favorite item in the drop. No, maybe the knit sweater, but it's up there. Chat, we do have a new merch drop. We absolutely do have a new merch drop, and I think it's the most work we've ever put into a merch drop. Straight up. It is the most work we've ever put into a merch shop. It took, I think our first conversation about doing this drop was 3 years ago. We finally got a contact with the publisher 2 years ago. And then from our first contact with the publisher, it was a 2-year process of like approvals and a litany of things you need to do. But I also think it looks really good. Like, I know, and I mean no shade by this. The prices of this merch drop's a little bit expensive because of the quality, but also because of tariffs. Like, I think we paid an effective 10% or maybe higher, like a 20% tariff rate. We paid some expensive tariff rate. Which is a bit unfortunate. You know, we started this 2 years ago. We did not expect tariffs when we started it. But I say that all to say I saw some people say this is why you should just do the manufacturing in America. Look, no shade. They brought up some other creators' merch drops who are made in America. And then I looked at said creators' merch drop. It is so much uglier than the shit we made. No shade. There's no shade. But I think people have this idea that made in China means made cheap. But shit made in China is far better than the shit made in America when it comes to merch. No shade. No shade because I'm not saying their name. If I said their name, then it'd be full shade. I'm leaving them anonymous. This could be anyone. But no, sincerely, I think there's a disrespect to the quality of the stuff that comes out of China. It is far and away better. This puffer jacket, this thing right here, would be so hard to make in America. This shit would be so hard to make. Got a little knit right here, the little rubber. I mean, that's quality right there. That's quality right there. Do a giveaway? I thought about doing a giveaway. I don't think I need to be honest. Low key, this is your ugliest drop yet? No, you're actually just fucking dumb as hell. I can't lie to you. I think you're dumb as... I think we're just different people and we'll forever be different people until we both perish, which isn't like a bad thing. Like, you have your... But like, genuinely, we just couldn't be further from each other. I think this shit looks fine. I think... Bro, this looks so good. The knit sweater with the smoke turning into the shit. Nah, I have to disagree. I have to vehemently disagree. Even the Ein hoodie, like these paw prints, like that shit. This shit hard. No, I think I have a disagreement. It's not my style. See, that's a fair. You know what? That I can't even speak to. Your style is your style. I can't speak to it. Okay. It works. Hell yeah. Let me tag the entirety of my Discord. Let them know I'm live on Twitch.tv and YouTube. Okay, why the fuck is my YouTube lagging?
Ludwig Hyper's in the chat.
Oh shit! Wait, Lannis, thank you for the 10. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs, Lannis. Wait, that was nice. I appreciate that. Thank you, Lannis. Wait, is this because of uBlock? Fuck.
Ludwig Hyper's in the chat.
I think it's because of uBlock, bro. Yeah, it is.
Feels birthday, man.
Bitch ass YouTube. Fuck you, fucking Google ass, snake ass. Okay, no, I'm 30 now. I'm wise. It's all right. Oh my God. Do a merch giveaway? Maybe. Nah, but I don't think I need to. How long will the merch be live for? I don't know. It's a good question. Thank you, Janota, for the 5 gifted. I appreciate that. Gang, 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 gang. Maybe we can do a merch giveaway. Yeah, fuck it. Why not? You want to do a merch giveaway? Like I put up a tweet, you retweet, and you get one?
Bought 3 pieces, best drop yet, man.
All right, I'm going to tweet it out tomorrow. I can't figure it out right now because I have the pictures on my phone. Don't do it on Twitter. There's nowhere else to do it because you can't really do a giveaway on Instagram. I mean, I guess I could give some. Well, actually, no. I guess I could give something random to somebody who posts it on their story, right? That would work. If you post it on your story. That's a thing, right? You can restore. But then how do you... I would just have to pick someone within like 24 hours, right? Maybe this works. Thank you, the 5 gifted Kingfish. Taganator, thank you for gifting a sub to Possum Mythic. Thanks for keeping the OGs alive. I actually don't know what's going on with my YouTube. This is weird. I'm getting insane amounts of lag. I'm not exactly sure why. It's Pasta Mystic, you fuck. It's never been Mythic. Wait, when did you change it to Mystic? Congratulations on the name change. Yo, Taganator, thanks for gifting a sub to Josh Smurf. Appreciate that. They're like the funniest chatter in here. No, I know. Pasta Mythic's funny as hell. Or, excuse me, Pasta Mystic. Did not mean to misgender. I'm working on me. Chat, I am 30 years old, man. I am officially 30 years old. Had my 30th birthday yesterday. You know how I know I'm old? Cutie asked me, she's like, are you going to go live and farm birthday subs? It's a thing I've done in the past. It's a thing a lot of other creators do. They'll go live on their birthday and people will sub, you know, as a celebration of the birth, a gift of sorts. And I said no, got a haircut. I woke up early to get a haircut. I hung out with my mom and my sister. And when I had free time, I played an offline game of League of Legends. I played one offline game of League of Legends, and then I just sat on the couch and I tried to program my Kindle instead of going live to farm birthday subs. Yeah, I got a Kindle for my birthday. My mom got me a Kindle. They're really cool. I've never had a Kindle before. They're pretty awesome. Thank you to the 20 gifted William Bedard. Matthew Lloyd, thank you for the 42 months on YouTube. You changed, man. No, I'm older. I'm older for sure. I'm definitely older. I can tell I'm older. Shady Liz, thank you for the 5 gifted. A name I'll never mess up. Thank you for the $20, Ashton Betts. Happy birthday, dog. Love from Washington. I hope you have a kick-ass day, dude. Ashton, that was a nice-ass message. I hope you have a kick-ass day. I turn 25 tomorrow. Do you have any advice? This is what I figured would happen. People are now coming to me for some wisdom. Yeah. No, I have a lot of it. I could impart because I've wrapped up the 20s. I kind of know the ins and outs of that decade. You're halfway through. I remember being halfway through. Fuck. 25. Good years. Good years. You know, if you haven't yet, you're at the very brink of the turning point. I'll explain that in a moment. If you haven't yet, push yourself. Not in career, but in things you're usually uncomfortable doing. Okay? Now, I think a lot of people hear this and they think, you know, do drugs or whatever. And maybe that's part of it, but you don't have to do all that. You don't have to do all that. Maybe it's going on a solo trip somewhere. You know, maybe it's going to some sort of hobby thing by yourself, like a mariachi club. I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out there. But I think that's the time where you got to do all that in your young 20s. In your young 20s, bro. That's what you got to do. Yeah. Can't be doing that at 30. Do you feel like you know yourself now? Yeah, I'm in tune. Because, you know, I don't know a lot about being 30 yet, but...
Have you written your will yet? I'd recommend getting that done in your final days.
I am not at my peak physical age yet. I am still 2 to 5 years separated from the physical peak of my life. That's just a fact. That's just a damn fact. Peak is 27, 28. No, it's not. At 29, I was benching way more than I did at 27. I'm saying 32. I'm gonna be running marathons. I'm gonna be benching what I squat when I was 27. I'm gonna be big as damn hell. And you know I'll be flexible because I'm starting to stretch. 5 minutes of stretching a day now. 5 minutes of stretching every day now. Got it. Tighten the legs. Got to tighten the old legs there. All right, ready? This is first day of being 30, toe touch test. Okay. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's pretty good. I can barely touch the toes. I'm going to have my hand flat on the ground. I'm going to have my hand flat on the ground by 39. Mark my words. Nah, you've reached your peak, widow's peak. Uh-oh. We let something out of the drafts, Prezzo. How did that happen? Happy birthday, GOAT. Still need that last unpaid intern, though. Nah, we can make that happen. I know Slime's happy to have another member. No, he's actually not. Because I keep walking around like I'm more sage because I've turned 30, and he's getting really annoyed at that. And I'm not going to stop doing it. I'm going to continually walk around like I'm Yoda. Which I kind of am in this space, to be honest. I'm kind of like a Yoda. Because I look at these young, upcoming streamers and I'm like,
it's like I can still hear his voice.
Like you can.
R.I.P. Uncle Luddy.
I'm still here. Also not uncle. But Subathon to celebrate 30 years old. Nah, what a foolish endeavor.
Congrats on finally being in your mid-30s.
Subathon is a foolish endeavor, sacrificing literal percentage points of your entire life for what? Income? What?
DILF.
You know? Why does that matter? What's the goal of that? You know what matters more? You know what's liquid gold? Relationships. Play the music. Aren't you playing Pokemon this week? No, that's going to be next week. We're doing Pokemon.
Boomer levels of unk showing.
We're doing Pokemon next week. Anyway, chat, yes, I am officially 30 years old. I'm officially 30 years old. And now that I'm 30, I'm also going to make another change to the stream. Because I want the stream to more accurately reflect my age. Okay? And that is, we are running 3 minutes of ads. Okay, that is the big change we're making. Woo! Yeah! Because old people love advertisements. Sorry, folks, it is what it is. Old people love damn ads. Everyone unsub. Wait, if you're subbed, you don't get ads.
You're my mans.
So most of you guys don't even have ads.
Got to use my Prime on my Elder.
Appreciate you using your Prime on your Elder. Kyra Mira. Thank you, Atlas Gauntlet, for the Raw Tier 1 sub. All right, chat. Chat, we got a few things I got to talk about today. There's a few points I want to go over, some things that have happened in the news, and I want to talk a bit about my birthday party yesterday. I have a little story about my birthday and being 30. Can a mod make a pin comment about the merch, by the way? I'm going to go quickly over the merch drop. I'm just going to highlight every item real quick, but if you guys don't know, merch drop is out. One item had not got approved yet. It might be posted at a later date as a heads up. So it's not all out yet. We might have another item, which would be awesome. But anyway, we got the Spike Puffer jacket. We got the Ein hoodie, which I think is awesome. We got the Space Cowboy hoodie, which I really like the logo mashup. We got the Spike knit sweater. We got the Spike and Faye t-shirt. We got the desk mat, which I actually think is super cute. Super cute desk mat. We hired this artist that I really like. They threw coots in it as well. You got little coots right here. And then you got the whole gang with the skyline. But I really like the desk mat. We got the hat, which pretty straightforward, sort of jean hat. And then the pin collection, the chibi pins. These are made by Lily Pichu. Shout out Lily. I think she did a really good job with the pins. And they're super cute. But anyway, that's the full collection. It's available now. It literally came out at noon. And I think some items have like sold out. And I put that in parentheses because we'll put anything that's sold out up for pre-order. You're just going to receive it a lot later than if you buy it before it goes to pre-order. If that makes sense. So if you want to get it sooner rather than later, you should order it quickly. But some items are totally sold out. Like the knit sweater is totally sold out. I think the jacket is sold out. I think the hat is sold out. So you can still purchase it. It just will be pre-order. Is there a promo code? I don't know, to be honest. I don't think so. But I'll try to do a giveaway on Twitter and Instagram tomorrow. I can do that. Do you see Zane's cartwheel? Abso-fucking-lutely I did. Shout out my goat. Shout out my goat. Zane. What a fucking G. What an absolute madman. Zane, who won Gommel 2025 yesterday. He's the GOAT. Okay, well, hold up. Sorry. I do gotta stop you there. Sorry. Let's just back that up a little bit. Okay. But he is my GOAT. He is my GOAT. Shopify Rebellion Zane, if you guys don't know, went to Gommel and
good DI
beat Hungry Box.
doesn't get regrabbed.
Insane. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
You got some jumps, though.
Wait,
You got jumps.
he's got one more. Oh,
you crazy.
He's still living. No, he's not.
Insane. Taking it.
Oh,
3 times.
Bro did a cartwheel.
Popped off and did a really good cartwheel. Like genuinely a very good cartwheel here.
Insane. Taking it. 3 times.
Into a stomp.
Bro did a cartwheel.
Cartwheel into a
Bro did a
stomp and then
cartwheel?
a cold ass walk away. That was kind of fire. And apparently there's a clip of Zayn. I don't know where the clip is. There's a clip of Zayn 4 years ago practicing cartwheels. Literally practicing cartwheels for a pop-off. And then you know what? Practice makes perfect. Pulls it off. Can you do a cartwheel? Easily. Stupid question. Let's move on. So there's some drama
How long will the merch be up for? Also love the fits.
The merch will be up for, I don't know, ask Aiden.
Just pre-ordered the poor hoodie, damn it looks nice. Imapade chatter toe. Can't wait for the hoodie man and happy birthday.
Appreciate you.
Hey man, happy birthday. That sweater looks comfy as F smile.
It is comfy as F. It's actually freaking comfy as F right now. Damn, we got so many donos. Thank you.
I got the collab sweater, but I was curious with how expensive it is, what the licensing fee are on them. Judging off previous drops, it seems like $40 or so per item.
There is a licensing fee. I don't know if I'm at the liberty to discuss the exact fee, but I will say it's not based off of the profit of the item, which makes it a bit more expensive as well. It's just based off the item itself. And then there's the tariffs. There was a lot that made this more expensive. I mean, there are genuinely some items, and this is not like woe is me, because I mean, obviously we do merch to make money, but making money isn't the final goal. Otherwise I would just, do one sweatshirt with an embroidered thing in the fucking middle and like a print t-shirt, call it a day. There are some items where the margin's like less than $5. I think there was an item where the margin was like a couple of dollars, which is quite low, right? Like if an item's $100 and the cost is $98, because you would just have to sell such a ridiculous amount. But it's cool because I think it looks awesome and sets the precedent that we are a good, reliable partner for different IP holders in the anime industry, and maybe could do a different, not saying which anime, collab in the future. You know what I want, chat. You know what I want. You know what I want. There's one damn thing on this earth that I want. Pre-orders are available for 2 weeks, chat. 12 more days. So yeah, 12 more days. Pre-orders are up for 12 more days. I guess maybe it'll end Sunday, like not next Sunday, the Sunday after probably. So,
it's real.
But I'll post the giveaway tomorrow. Thank you. Actually, we already have a few thousand orders, so appreciate everyone who's ordered the merch. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Luffy rocking a mint hoodie in the last chapter confirmed.
You are getting closer and closer to becoming like your idol Jay Leno.
Yeah. Jay Leno? All right, chat. If you guys haven't heard, there's been a big update. Creator Clash 3 is officially canceled. We talked about it a bit ago, so I figured it was worth doing an update because we talked about it maybe a couple of months ago. But they finally posted today, we've made the difficult decision to cancel Creator Clash. All existing pay-per-view tickets will receive automatic refunds, no actions required. While the event will go as planned, all funds will still be donated to charity, and our fundraising efforts will continue the months ahead. Thank you to the fighters for their hard work, the Creator Clash team. Which, if I'm being totally candid, is like long time coming. I think it's probably long time coming. This has been dead for a while and like on life support. You know, this has been in a vegetative state. So it is, I think, ultimately the right call that they canceled it. Because if they had gone through with it, I think it would have done so bad. Ethan Klein did it. Okay. I'm not trying to be controversial here. But I do think iDubbbz posting the content cop was one of the dumbest moves ever. Straight up. That was crazy. I think it was not considerate of how many other people would be dragged into the situation who don't give a fuck and just want to fight. You know, make that video when Creator Clash isn't happening, I would say. That makes no sense to me. It did not help the event whatsoever. It hurt the event. Yeah, I mean, no one went to bat but Hassan for him. But like also, Hassan's audience isn't watching fucking boxing events. What is that? That's not, I don't know. At some point, you have to realize you're operating a business, and I mean, you have to make the call. Like, what's more important, is the business or you know, making the videos you want to make, which is like your own call to make. But anyway, I'm kind of sad about it. I won't lie. I'm kind of sad about it. Mainly because I know a lot of the people that were fighting in the event, and I was looking forward to seeing them fight. You know, like I was looking forward to the Minecraft bout, the Sapnap in Tubbo. I wanted to see Myth fight again. I really wanted to see Odd Ones Out versus Will Neff. I thought that was going to be a crazy fight. Trevor's a friend of mine. We play basketball every Sunday. I know how hard he's been training. I mean, that's another thing too. The trainers, thank you for the 5 gifted Chasing Vibes. I appreciate that. That's very nice. The trainers or the fighters have been training so hard. So it's kind of sad that they won't get to, you know, see the what's the phrase? The fruits of their soil. The fruits of their labor. Yeah, I think that's sad. You know, like for example, Peach Jar has literally announced last week, surprise, see you soon. And she announced that she's going to be in Creator Clash 3.
She's never getting signed.
And then tweeted today, man, LOL, I spent $3,000 on an announcement video and paid for 2 months of equipment and travel. The cancellation was supposed to be announced the next day I posted that, and they moved it back. The event wasn't even selling tickets. Which is a bummer. Time to recruit them for Chessboxing. Okay, low key, I tried to make that move. I had very briefly an opportunity to pitch Chessboxing 2, and I thought, you know, this is a good opportunity. I could probably just, you know, take all the cards. Creator Clash would have zero involvement. I would do my own event, and then just whoever would want from the Creator Clash 3 to, you know, try Chessboxing 2. So that, you know, at least the efforts that they put into training wouldn't be in vain. They could still get paid out, yada, yada, yada. But unfortunately, the deal that would pay for that fell through. And I am not in the business of running events that lose hundreds of thousands of dollars anymore. So I didn't like force it through. I did not force it through. Coward? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I did that enough in my 20s. When you're in your 30s, man, you kind of realize that, you know, when you take these risks, you're not just risking your own financial situation, you're risking your loved ones. You know, my mom, you know, my grandpa. It's like stuff like, you got to consider this. So yeah, just you know, y'all young folk, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it, bro. You're gonna get it. Your grandpa's alive? Don't do that, right? Please. Yes. He is. Let's not talk like that. What's your most profitable event?
Ludwig Hyper's in the chat. We are back on board.
Probably an event I ran this year. The GM event went great.
Bro, you are closer to being 40 than being 20.
You know what I actually think?
Hey Ludwig, the first was hearing your bones have been a little sore lately, but luckily some of your merch can help out an old man's bones because it's so comfortable. Let's go, old man. Happy birthday, old wig.
Thank you very much for the donations, chat. I will say, I watched this video from Dad. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a heartbreaker. This video was so sad. This video was so sad. It made me feel so bad. This shit made me feel so sad.
Training because the event's canceled now and it's just over and there's just no more money. And it's really messing me up and it's really hard for me to be okay with this. That's why I'm making this stupid video, because I'm upset. It sucks. I put my heart into this. I got freaking beat hard this year, harder than I ever had. And I thought, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna train like a freaking professional. Keep my head down, avoid this drama, and now here I am, screwed.
At this point, I just started getting too worked up, so I'm now just ending the video. When I filmed this, I just sort of spilled my guts and got kind of worked up. Then I remembered more things I wanted to say, and I tried to compose myself a little bit better, so the video's a bit wild. The last thing I want to say is that I always tried to be respectful of them, publicly and personally, when I was talking to them. I've always given them the benefit of the doubt and never really wanted to place blame on them or anyone. And then it turns out they were just talking trash about me behind my back. Ian's coach said on H3 that they used to say I was weird and talk trash about me, and then I also heard the same thing from Froggy Fresh 2 years ago. I don't care if people think I'm weird because I do make weird videos. I like being different and unique. I'm used to people saying I'm weird. I was just very surprised that it was happening by 2 other creative people. I thought they were like me, and I didn't expect them to make fun of me for being different. I thought that was the point of Creator Clash, was to gather the unique people and put them in a boxing ring. I guess not. So there you go. That's everything. That's my...
Dude, this video's so sad. The whole video's sad. I mean, it gives the context of, you know, why he boxes. And it's also like more interesting, obviously, to hear from the perspective of someone who, like does this and it's much more important because of like the importance of the financial aspects. You know, not to say that the hard work of someone who's got a lot of money isn't as valuable, but the risk is much smaller, right? The inherent risk of giving away time from your job when you have enough money that you can take that time off, I think makes it sad too, that context. But dude, it is sad. But I think he also said in the video he might do a Misfits fight. He might be on a Misfits card, which could be cool. I feel like all the time loss from work is the worst part of it all. Yeah. I mean, Ginger Pale, you trained, right? You've been training, no? Yeah, I'm ready to punch. Brother, I'm not your ticket. I'm sorry. I am not your ticket. I am not your ticket. I cannot run a Chessboxing event. I am sorry. I'm sorry. Oh man. When did you find out it was canceled? Ginger. I wonder when you found out. Wait, Yamamoto got subbed first inning? Why? He did that bad? He gave up 5? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yamamoto gave up 5? He got announced to the All-Star game yesterday, and he gave up 5 today? And they got swept? I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say that, but I have been waiting a bit for them to announce it. I see. I think not, well, this is not legal advice, so, operate how you would like to. I don't think you're beholden to shit anymore, brother. The event is canceled. If they spend the last of the funds pursuing litigation, I mean, I think you have the internet on your side in that universe. But of course, you also don't have to say shit you don't want to say. Baseball's 162 games. Your team will have ups and downs. Yeah, but I want Yamamoto to be the best pitcher in baseball. When I watch a Dodgers recap video and Yamamoto gives up 0 to 2 runs, I feel fucking electric for the rest of the day. It genuinely makes my day. When I watch Shohei Ohtani step up at the plate and just fucking hit one 400 feet, it makes my whole day. Yeah, the last 3 Astro games have made this week fucking miserable. This week has fucking sucked. Can you explain how baseball works? I'm Asian. You know what? I actually saw Coney do this, and I wanted to take this idea from him. But there is a world of baseball.
My sub is as old as you, Unk.
There's a world of baseball that most Americans don't know about, which is high school Japanese baseball. High school Japanese baseball is crazy. They do single elimination tournaments. Single elimination with like a shit ton of schools. And it's like incredibly hype. And there's a bunch of YouTube videos about them that I've been watching. But I stopped watching because I was like, maybe we do a lore deep dive, kind of like we did for Five Nights at Freddy's, but with, Koshien. I think it'd be fun. Watch Golf Cart's video. Who's Golf Cart?
I thought you'd look different.
Maybe it's my haircut. Who's Golf Cart?
I think it's time for a midlife crisis. So Chessboxing 2 sounds great.
I don't know who Golf Cart is, chat. Is that the name of the YouTuber? Or is it a video about golf carts?
Don't worry, pre-40s go pretty hard until the knees give out.
My knees do get fucked up easy. The curse of building something too good. The curse of building something too big. Ludwig Ogren's story.
For a kid who grew up dreaming of the spotlight,
Holy fuck, why do you have access to this? What the fuck? This is like from my high school play. Chat, this is genuinely from like my high school. I think it was from Mr. HBHS. It was like a Mr. High School event I did. My God. Should we watch this? Shady Liz, think of the 5 gifted. Is this like Sunny V2? I don't even think a little bit, to be honest. There has been a vacuum of drama YouTubers that has been filled by like 5 different creators, but I don't think any individual creator has taken the hold that Sunny V2 had on like I don't even know what style of YouTube it is you call it. It's not like negative farming. I don't know what to call it. Down sunset farming, downfall farming. It's not drama per se. It's like downfall drama, like videos. But I see like 5 channels that try to emulate Sunny V2. But say what you will, Sunny V2 had a grip. I did not like him as a YouTuber, but he had a grip. But I don't think anyone's like Sunny V3. All right, we'll watch this. The Curse of Building Something Too Big, Ludwig Ogren's story.
Becoming the top streamer in the world, #1 by every metric, it wasn't just a win, it felt like destiny. Like the internet gods reached down and said, yeah, you. Ludwig broke records, reinvented formats, and for a moment, it felt like he was untouchable.
Thank you for this award.
In just 30 days, he became the internet's golden boy, stacking achievement upon achievement, building an empire that seemed destined to rise forever.
I thought from then on, I was going to be the biggest streamer in the world.
But there was just one problem. The game of social media is broken. Think of it like Jenga, where every
There's a problem? I thought this shit was a glaze fest.
success,
No!
every viral hit, every milestone adds another block to the tower. And the higher you go, the closer you are to collapse. You see, Ludwig wasn't just chasing the views. His entire self-worth was measured by them. And that's the trap you see over and over. Creators climb to the top, crown themselves kings, and then burn out trying to reverse the fall. But Ludwig realized something that most don't. If you don't like the game you're playing, change the rules.
Dude, I did do that. Wisdom.
Okay, so just a quick note here. We started working on this video about a month ago, and we were almost done editing it right around the same time as the Mario Kart stream. What happened there and how certain things were handled was definitely disappointing. But with that being said, this video isn't about that. We made this—
God, no. No. Dude, you know what was sad? You know what was sad? And I actually don't blame him at all. But at my birthday yesterday, I think there's a clip. I didn't realize how pervasive this clip was. But there's a clip of somebody asking me if I had regretted banning Mango. And I said something, I think, too aggressive to the point of like, I feel zero guilt. And I think a screenshot's been traveling around about this. And Tarek came up to me at my birthday party. And he was like, zero guilt. And I regret saying it because I actually, I've been thinking a lot, like, if I don't ban Mango, does C9 still drop him? Or is he, banned for Melee events? Or would they still ban him just based off of the clip itself? Would they see the clip and still ban him? I'm not sure on that. And I don't think I can ever know. I mean, I could make an assumption. You could make one as well. I'm unsure on it. So I felt bad about that. But yeah, I regretted saying that. Because I feel like you don't control what clip of yours gets plucked and sent viral. But you do deal with the ramifications of which ones do. And I don't think I care if random people have a bad opinion of me. I think that's okay. I think that's fine. But it was sad when, like, if Tarek were to think that I were, I don't know, like I don't know, like robotic or something like that, like too, like devoid of empathy in the situation. Because I do feel bad about it. I don't think on hindsight I could or would reverse the decision of banning, but maybe how I did it and what I said outside of it, I wish was better. Yeah, it did not help that I was hungover, but all right, we'll continue the video. Let's get those numbers up. Okay, and we have a first-time chatter. Look, man, it's okay. You can say that.
This video before any of that happened, and after a lot of debate, we decided to not shelve it. Because we still believe in the story that it tells, and we think it's worth sharing. But if you are looking for videos that address the Mario Kart situation directly, I'll leave a few linked down below in the description. But this video really just focuses on Ludwig's story before any of that, so we hope you can still enjoy it.
But today I didn't
The story of Ludwig really begins in 2005, and during a 5th grade...
Dude, why do you have these pictures? Genuinely, why do you have these pictures?
The story of Ludwig really begins in 2005, and during a...
Is that Yu-Gi-Oh? I think I'm playing some Yu-Gi-Oh game.
5th grade class presentation, he debuted a parody of the novel My Brother Sam is Dead, in which he cleverly retitled My Brother Slam is Dead. When he read one of his favorite jokes aloud, the classroom burst into laughter, and right there in that moment, the spotlight turned on. The dopamine hit, and he was hooked. From that point on, Ludwig was everywhere he
Why
could
do
be.
you have any of these pictures? Did this actually happen? Yeah, I made a parody called My Brother Slam is Dead 2.0. And I've told this joke before, but in it, Slam's mother was trying to get Slam to do the dishes and take a shower before bed, like do his chores, because I think that was part of the book. And so my whole joke was like Slam, from his POV, he was like, so then I did the dishes and took a shower at the same time. And the at the same time delivery crushed. It sent a good mental image, you know, and that was the joke. I don't remember anything else from the story, but I do remember the joke.
Singing in the choir, co-starring in plays, leading pep rallies, and hosting...
Nice scarf. This was
From that
soccer.
point on, Ludwig was everywhere he could be, singing in the choir, co-starring in plays, leading pep rallies, and hosting school events like it was late-night TV.
All right, up next we have the interview portion, where all contestants will be lined up and at random selected with the spotlight to answer a question.
Okay, yeah, this is wow, fuck. This is when I decided I wanted to be a late night show host. Is it Jubilee? No, they have like a Mr. High School. Like my high school was HBHS, and so there would be a Mr. HBHS. And I was the host of Mr. HBHS. And then I later went on to compete in Mr. HBHS. Is your school all white? 98%, yeah. I live in New Hampshire, or I lived. It's not a very diverse neighborhood. Not really one of its main markers. My town had about 9,000 people in it. Did you win?
Hey Ben, how's it going?
I don't think so.
Good. Ben, I'm gonna throw you one and I just hope it doesn't go south. What is your favorite website? We are in school, right? Shouldn't start with a P.
His video show...
That's a good one. That's a good host. I get a little bit risque, you know. I get a little bit risque on the on the school programs, you know. We like to push the line a little bit.
Platforms gained momentum, Ludwig brought his passion online. He launched a YouTube channel under the alias The Zany Sidekick, experimenting with Call of Duty gameplay and commentary.
Let's get a little revenge. Suck it, Max. You just got owned.
Fuck, I actually can't watch this video. I can't watch this video. I genuinely can't watch this video. I don't want to watch this. I would fucking rather sit here and rewatch fucking Burial Cart shooting myself in the head than watch this. I can't, dude. This shit fucks me up. Oh my God. You just got owned. I can't. You're still as cringe? No, I'm 30 now. I'm very wise.
When Vine exploded in popularity in 2013, he quickly adapted, crafting 7-second skits that perfectly showcased his sharp wit and impeccable comedic timing.
Okay, there were 6 seconds, right? Am I getting gaslit? Everyone knows there's 6 seconds. There were 7? There were 6. Weren't they 6? Am I getting gaslit? Fuck, I feel like I can't tell. It's always been 7? Oh my God, old age. This is how it starts.
Straight out of a stripper's butt crack.
After high school,
that's such a bad joke.
Ludwig left New Hampshire behind and headed west to Arizona State.
Wait, that's my friend Jen. We have the same birthday. That's great.
University. It was a new...
This is I guess if I wasn't white enough already, this was at a Dave Matthews concert. So.
State with new faces, but the mindset stayed the same. Try everything. He was rejected from fraternities, passed over by clubs.
That's not true. This is not true. Hold up. Okay. All right. We've done a good amount of research, but, you know, we're a little bit off. I did not get rejected from a fraternity. Okay. The way the fraternity process goes is they basically groom freshmen. I don't think I'm wrong to say this. They groom freshmen by inviting them to fun parties and supplying them with a good time. And if they see that you're a good fit, they give you a bid. Then you have the opportunity to accept their bid, and then you become a pledge. You do a 6-month pledge period, and then you become a full-fledged member. Okay, the period of the pledging and the dues differ per frat, but that's the general sort of process. I got a bid. I received a bid from fraternity Kappa Alpha. Okay? Because I had one friend from high school who was in the frat. I said no to the bid. I said no. I think being in a frat, Kyle, I know this. Okay, Shiny Juices, think of the frat. Guys, I still think, and I thought being in a frat is cringe. It just felt like once I found out that like, hey, we're like, you know how we're hanging out on a level playing field? We're now going to put you down at a lower, like basically a caste system and treat you worse. And you're going to have to pay us money. And then you'll be on our playing field. And that felt very weird. It felt very fake and inauthentic. So I just said no. Also, the frat that I got a bid from was founded by Robert E. Lee, the leader of the Confederate Army during the Civil War, which I thought was weird too.
Comedy groups, a cappella groups. He kept showing up, but they kept saying no.
I did get rejected from the a cappella club. That was real. No, I just fucked that one up. I forgot the words to Bulletproof. Or, what was it called? You turn it down, but I can't get hard no more. Titanium, yes.
First time the stage felt far away. So he built his own.
Hey guys, welcome to Tempe Late Night. I am your host, Ludwig.
That's Kyle, chat. Chat, that's Kyle. That's Kyle in chat. Look, that's Kyle.
A bunch of misfits, all turned out from that same ASU comedy group, got together and formed a rival. They called it Tempe Late Night, a scrappy little comedy group with an audience of 0.
Okay, this was all the doing of Forbes. Forbes was like me. He had got rejected from everywhere, but he was a senior, and after getting rejected, became vindictive and then made his own club. I didn't have that sort of petty chip on my shoulder power to do all that. I just joined it. He would basically hang out at the auditions and then see who he thought were good and then take the people who got rejected from the other clubs to join.
Together and formed a rival. They called it Tempe Late Night, a scrappy little comedy group with an audience of 0.
Sex is like Bob Ross. It's not premature ejaculation. It's just a happy little accident.
Look at our crowd, bro. Man, that's what I imagine a 15-viewer stream to be like. That's not 0 people? Nah, it's not. And to be honest, it grew. I think towards the end, we had like 80-person crowds.
The build was slow, but by the end of the year, Tempe Late Night began selling out shows, packing out seats. It had far transcended what the rival comedy show had ever achieved, taking the throne of the top comedy group on campus.
Briefly. Very briefly. We did have a small stint where our shows were doing better. I think Tempe Late Night died. We had like a 2-year run. We had a fucking awesome 2-year run. And then it died. They rebranded. I forget their new name now. Tempe Underground. But I don't think Tempe Underground is as big as Bear in Mind. But I'd have to go back. I haven't been in a bit.
Now, throughout all of this, Ludwig's dream was always the same. Late nights, a live audience, and his name in the lights. Think Fallon, Kimmel, or Letterman. The career of his dreams was to host a talk show. But somewhere in the middle of his junior year, fate threw a wrench in his Hollywood blueprint. It came in the form of a plastic relic from 2001, a Nintendo GameCube disc titled Super Smash Bros. Melee. What started as a casual hobby turned into a full-blown obsession. He'd spend infinite hours learning the mains, learning how to ledge lash. He discovered competitive full-blown obsession. He'd spend infinite hours learning the mains, learning how to ledge lash. He discovered
It's a minor mistake. Ledge dash.
competitive melee
I also can't ledge dash very well.
tournaments.
I played Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff's not a character that ledge dash. This is a minute point. When you touch the ledge, you have a set amount of invulnerable frames. And characters can drop from the ledge and then wave dash onto the stage and use those invulnerable frames to attack. So basically you do have an invincible attack you can put out. Jigglypuff is so slow and floaty that if you were to ledge dash with her, you would have basically like very few invulnerable frames. And the execution of it to do it tight is just usually not worth it. So it's a decent option, but not really too common for Jigglypuff mains.
Streamed on this little platform called Twitch, and he started watching, then studying. He got better than his friends and decided that wasn't enough. He wanted in, so he hit the road.
Did they talk about you getting in trouble for skipping comedy for Smash?
My man's.
It hasn't come up. It hasn't come up yet.
Happy belated birthday, confetti ball emoji.
I was juggling 3 worlds in college. I was juggling my comedy group, my Smash obsession, and my evil ex-girlfriend, and trying to have all 3 work at the same time. And little did I know that almost all of them would fail along the way. Evil's an exaggeration. She just cheated on me.
Local tournaments, hotel bar rooms, folding chairs, and CRTs. This was the minor leagues of competitive Smash. And here's how it worked. Once you got knocked out, you had 2 choices. Pack it up or pick up a mic. And Ludwig didn't know much, but damn could he commentate.
Just waiting for Axe to get this 3-1.
It really started at Runback 2017. He called matches with an infectious energy, cracked jokes that actually landed, and filled every silence like it owed him money.
If a quiz is a quizzical, what's a test?
And somewhere between the losers bracket and the after parties, Ludwig began to grow a name for himself in the Melee community. As his presence grew, so did his circle. He started running with some of the big names in the Melee world, guys who were already super well known in the scene, people like Slime. And that mattered, because for a while, Ludwig wasn't the guy. He was friends with the guy.
I love Slime. Have you met Slime?
I've met Slime. I'm a big fan of Slime.
Okay, yeah, he's a legend.
Now, remember Slime because he's going to be important later. But meanwhile, Ludwig had graduated college and made the leap, fully moved to LA, ready to start his first big boy job, running the website for a wine and spirits magazine.
Damn, they got some fucking pictures, bro. Slime has hair. Guys, yeah. I mean, a lot of you guys might not be old enough, but Slime first went bald on my stream. We did a You Laugh, You Lose, loser shaves their head. We shaved his head bald and he never got hair again. Like, that was it. He had hair. We did the YLYL. He went bald, never came back. I mean, he never grew it back.
Few glorious days, things were great. He wore button-ups, he showed up early, he felt important. But just weeks later, he was
I'm sorry, hold up.
Ready to start his first big boy job, running the website for a wine and spirits magazine.
I've never showed up early to anything.
For a few glorious days, things were great. He wore button-ups, he showed up early, he felt important. But just weeks later, he was fired. Something about screwing up the site and maybe lying on his resume.
I moved to
I did not lie on my... Okay. Whoa. All right, a lot of accusations. I did not lie on my resume. I did not lie on my resume. Okay? Nope, I did not do that. It was a very small mistake. It was a very small mistake. And to be honest, what the fuck was my stream room back then? Bro, what is this? This is like significant other poison. This is girlfriend poison right here. Wait, you know what's cool? That's a Cowboy Bebop poster, isn't it? Wait, isn't that fucking cool? My first stream room, I have the Cowboy Bebop poster. And now, 6 years later, we have a Cowboy Bebop merch drop, an official merch drop with Cowboy Bebop. That's cool. I didn't remember that poster. Dang, that is cool. That's cool, bro.
Late for this job. I don't have anything.
This would become a recurring theme over the next few years. A weird, wobbly balancing act between this melee thing and paying rent.
How do we finesse this guy to get jobs at NBC?
Yeah, we're both writers. We need jobs.
Slime and Ludwig had quickly became a fan-favorite duo in the Melee scene. Their chemistry on commentary was electric, and after a guest spot on Slime's Bad Melee podcast, Ludwig caught the bug. He figured, hell, why not try out this streaming thing on his own?
Alright, 160.
And honestly, his first few streams went surprisingly well. A dozen or so loyal Melee heads would tune in, keep the chat alive, and hang out for a few hours.
A dozen might be extreme. I think I had 5 people my first stream. I had 5 people my first stream, I think. And it was like an average viewership of 2. And it was mostly Dr. Battle. And I got so fucking drunk by myself. I think I like almost threw up drinking like cheap wine. It was an embarrassment, to be honest.
Not bad for a guy figuring it out on the fly, but Twitch remained on the back burner. Every time Ludwig landed a new job, Snapchat, Best Buy, or wherever, streaming took a backseat. Because dreams are cool, but rent's due on the first.
I think the timeline is skewed. The timeline's quite skewed here. The only job I ever had while streaming was like 2 weeks at Snapchat. And then my job at the vape company. That was pretty much it. I'd quit Best Buy before ever streaming, really. I think actually maybe I worked. No, I don't. Fuck God, this is what 30-year-olds do now. I'm like thinking of timelines. Like anyone gives a fuck. You know what? Whatever he said's right. It's the truth. Thank you for 5 get to find shiny juices.
Still, the itch never left, so he made a deal with himself. Stacked $10,000 in savings, enough to float a few months of full-time streaming. That was the goal. And after landing a head of marketing gig at a vaping startup called IQ Vapes, Ludwig started shoveling cash into that fund. But late 2018.
This is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. The first 6 minutes of this is horrible. It's horrible, bro. Owned him. And then it's just showing off the iPod vapes that I was the head of marketing at.
You just got owned.
Don't ever fucking play that clip again, Tim. If you love your job and you want to keep it, you're just not going to play that again.
2018 changed everything. There was a Melee event in Las Vegas, Scar versus Fendi. Big names, high stakes.
I want to bet on it right now.
Ludwig was on the mic and it was lightning in a bottle. The stream popped off, the YouTube VODs went viral, and the entire Melee community took notice.
No, he did. Oh my God.
Okay, hold up. I did so much for this. This was actually like truly the biggest fucking mogul move I've made in my life. If you don't know, Scar was a commentator and Fendi was a commentator. And Fendi was a more upcoming one and Scar was more of an OG one. And Scar used to be quite a good player, but, you know, I kind of fell off. He had a kid and he was less focused on all that. And I think they had like a little Twitter beef. And then Evo was coming up and Melee was still at Evo back then. And then I had the idea, because I think people had thrown around like maybe they should do a Salty Suite, of doing the Salty Suite at Evo, renting a penthouse suite and setting up all the tech there. And the best part is I didn't do it with any of my money. I did it all with the Reed's money, which was the company that Scar and Toph had that I was basically running for them. But it wasn't a hustle because it was a charity stream, and you can see we had to donate with the Reeds. We did raise a lot of money. It did bring a lot of attention to the Reeds. I just made one small ask for myself. The only thing I asked for is that the stream would be on my Twitch channel, because Scar and Toph didn't really stream much and we didn't have like a Reeds Twitch channel. So that was really the only thing that I did for myself. And I remember the week before the event started, because it was getting so much hype on Twitter, I was getting like double my followers. I had like 300 followers. I'd gone to like 1,000 followers and nobody, like I wasn't even going live. People were just following in anticipation for the event. I don't know what the event peaked at CCV wise. I think it was in the thousands. But it was kind of awesome.
Are we doing watching Scar versus Fendi?
What are we doing watching Scar versus Fendi? Jack, thank you for the 46 months. We're watching a video called The Curse of Building Something Too Big, Ludwig Ogren's story. It's a video made about me. It's a little video essay, I guess.
Then came the Hotels.com commercial that featured Ludwig, which was like kind of random, but whatever.
What's up, gamers?
Ludwig's again. This was random. I actually still don't know why this happened. I still have no clue why this happened. I genuinely don't know. They had no business making a commercial with me in it. But to be honest, I was pumped. All I got was a hotel room, which I was really happy about. They gave me a fruit bowl at my hotel room.
No, I'm a professional gamer.
Then came the roast of Hugo Gonzalez, another Melee legend. Ludwig took the stage, mic in hand, zero hesitation, and he murdered. Again, viral. And suddenly, Ludwig stopped caring about the 9 to 5, started prepping his stream work during work hours. He showed up late and clocked in mentally somewhere else. Eventually, in early February 2019, he was fired. The savings account was still shy of the target, and the timing, a disaster like always.
Dude, life was so sick back then. This is actually so sweet to look back on. Because it really did feel like I could just fucking work, put my heart into shit, and if I worked hard enough, I would reap the rewards. How accurate is all of this? I mean, it glosses over. I did fucking crush at this roast.
Stage, mic in hand, zero hesitation, and he murdered. Again, viral. And suddenly, Ludwig stopped caring about the 9 to 5, started prepping.
I somewhat stopped caring about my no, I actually fully stopped caring about my 9 to 5. It also wasn't a 9 to 5. It was like an 11 to 5. Because I was a full-time salaried employee. But I only stopped caring after they hoed me. I've talked about this ad nauseum. But after I tried to do this whole marketing campaign and they rejected it, the FaZe Banks quitting nicotine campaign, that's when I clocked out. It wasn't because I was successful. It was because I felt like I couldn't be successful at my job. Oh, look, Tim found it. Scar vs. Fendi peaked at 6,000 viewers and had an average CCV of 3,000. And I had gained 1,000 followers from it. That's crazy.
Prepping his stream work during work hours. He showed up late and clocked in mentally somewhere else. Eventually, in early February 2019, he was fired.
I was fired.
The savings account was still shy of the target, and the timing, a disaster like always. But the walls were closing in. The gun was pressed against the back of his head.
Kelby. The difference is it was a really good idea.
Ludwig wanted to become an entertainer. It was now or never.
So starting today, I have left my job and I will now be streaming full-time on twitch.tv/Ludwig Ogren.
In his first full month.
Isn't it crazy that I got a tattoo for 1,000 subs? And nowadays, like a streamer like Jason the Ween has a 50,000 sub goal to go to the country of Japan. Like, oh no, you get to go to Japan? Guess we'll have to sub up for that one. It was 30K subs on 50. My bad. That's reasonable. My bad. 1,000 subs for a fucking tattoo. I still have that shit on my body.
Full-time on twitch.tv/Ludwig Ogren.
In his first full month as a streamer, Ludwig really just stuck with what he knew. Super Mario, Pokemon, and other closely related games. Day after day, he went live.
Okay, this is a small note, and maybe this is a nitpick. I hate when people say the game, and the game that is shown is not the game. It's a small nitpick. Otherwise, enjoying the video.
Began to build a bit of a following. By the end of the month, the stats were honestly pretty solid. He streamed for a total of 145 hours, averaged 251 viewers, and made a little over $2,800. A great start at his new job. Now from this point forward, I'd say there were 3 big booms that really skyrocketed Ludwig's online career.
Boom! And $2,800 a month. That's not bad, but that is a fucking pay cut. 2,800 was a huge pay cut on hindsight. I was making 60K at my vape job. which is way more than 2,800. 60K a month? Fucking relax, bro. 60K a year. I was making 5K a month.
The first was in June of 2019.
We have 2 off-limit things you guys aren't allowed to talk about. 1, chest hole. 2, the pimple, okay? That's it. It's ringing.
I heard you have a chest hole.
What the f, chat?
Cutie Cinderella was a fellow Twitch streamer who at the time was actually a bit more well known than Ludwig. And as you longtime fans may already know, they to this day have remained close friends. Now, let's be clear. This
What a line. To this day, they've remained close friends. If you're a deep, hardcore fan, you would know we've remained close friends. Yeah, to this day.
stream wasn't a viral explosion moment, but it was the spark, the start of a pivot. Ludwig began shifting away from purely melee-centric content and leaning into a wider range of ideas that showed off his personality and charisma. Story times, over-the-top reactions, and monumental series like letting chat spend my money and try not to laugh.
I can never wear this in public.
The summer of 2019 was a huge swing in momentum.
I think I have worn that in public.
Try not to laugh.
I can never wear this in public.
Of course I come fast. I got fish to catch. Amen.
The summer of 2019 was a huge swing in momentum, and by December, Ludwig had cracked over 3,000 average viewers and amassed more than 125,000 Twitch followers.
I've literally gone up 100 viewers saying nothing, just sitting in the just chatting section looking all cute as hell.
2020 kicked off with an unexpected boom, not just for Ludwig, but for content creators across the board.
The breaking news, stay at home, that is the order tonight from 4 state governors as the coronavirus pandemic spreads.
COVID sucked, there's no doubt about it. But while the world shut down, the internet lit up. Twitch didn't just grow, it exploded, practically tripling overnight. And Ludwig, he was strapped in and ready to ride the wave. His breakout moment came with PogChamps, an online chess tournament hosted by Chess.com that turned Twitch into the world's nerdiest coliseum. 16 streamers, names like XQC, Moist Critical, and of course Ludwig, duking it out for a $10,000 prize pool and digital bragging rights. PogChamps caught fire. Overnight, it became—
Oh shit! Small Ant, thank you for the raid. What is up, Small Ants? We are watching a video essay about me, which I guess is very egotistical if you guys are just coming in, and is. But it is, it's also pretty good. It's also a pretty good video. Happy birthday, old man. Okay.
Happy birthday, old man.
Okay, how old is Small Ant? 29 years. May 3rd, 1996. Set a reminder for May 3rd. Fuck off. Set a reminder for May 3rd, 2026. I want to be reminded about Small Ant being an old fuck, an old son of a bitch. I can't schedule reminders. Set a reminder for May 3rd, 2026. Sorry. Is it the Small Ant birthday thing? He's an old fuck. Okay.
became the event on the internet. Ludwig got knocked out of the top bracket early, sure, but the real show started in the loser's bracket.
Want to do a little side wager? I'll give the 100
Did you
subs
get your
if you beat
free
me.
month of consumer cellular with your new AARP membership?
I don't have AARP. Okay. Two things. First off, I don't have AARP. Second off, I did not lose and drop to the lower bracket. This is wrong.
Games caught fire. Overnight, it became the event on the internet. Ludwig got knocked out of the top bracket early, sure, but the real show—
I threw. I might have lost on my own merit if I had tried, but I think I for sure would have won. I threw. This is fucking true. I realized that there was a chance I could win the lower bracket, or I could get last place in the upper bracket. And I thought it was cooler to win the lower bracket than lose the upper bracket and get last place.
Show started in the loser's bracket.
Want to do a little side wager? I'll give the 100 subs if you beat me.
Easy money. He clawed his way to the semifinals, where he took down XQC and then hit the grand finale, a face-off with Moist Critical.
XQC is so bad at chess, it shocks me. Because I think he's smart and I think he's good at video games. I don't know if it's like an attention thing or what, but he's bad at that game. He's not smart. I think you guys think he's not smart. I think look, to be clear, he's dumb as bricks in a lot of areas of life, but he has a mind. He thinks.
Over 72,000 viewers tuned in live. It was by far Ludwig's most watched stream ever, smashing his previous peak by over 56,000. He lost the final in Game 3, but it didn't matter, because Ludwig was becoming a household name.
I am Ludwig, Knight of the Moguls, fighter for the free.
See, this is people ask me, do you feel 30? And it's hard to answer that question because, you know, it's just a day in actuality. You know, it's no different than, do you feel different waking up today than you did yesterday? Probably not. But if you're to zoom out way big, I don't think I could put myself into a Knights of the Templar suit, put on Skyrim main theme, and yell a speech now. I think as a 30-year-old man, it would feel too weird. I don't know if I could do that.
What do we stand for? Love, life, and subscribing to my YouTube channel at youtube.com/Ludwig Offbrand.
From there, he latched on a breakout track.
Never mind, I could do that. I could do that. Drop a fucking subscriber outreach, a little read, a little plug, call to action. That's easy.
Like Among Us, kept the content flowing with Cutie Cinderella, and started rolling out
Jesus Christ, that is not my color.
New segments, an original series that turned his channel into a goldmine of viral moments and inside jokes. Every week there was something new, something shareable, memeable, unforgettable.
Yeah, shirtless 10-year-old in my room. Woo!
But it wasn't just the content, it was the grind. From July through December,
I think there was context that we're missing on that clip.
Ludwig streamed like a machine. Out of the 183 days, he was live for 175. That's only 8 days off in 6 months. And it paid off. By the year's end, he had cracked 1 million followers on Twitch and 1 million subs on YouTube. 2 platforms, 2 huge milestones, and 1 relentless creator. Then came February, and that's...
They didn't look so British.
2 huge milestones and 1 relentless creator. Then came February, and that streak ended. You see, Ludwig had planned a quick vacation, a quick visit with family back home, and a ski trip in Maine. Time to chill, relax, reset. But on the first night, things went sideways. His appendix had nearly burst. Emergency surgery, the whole 9 yards. Everything went fine, thankfully, but he was forced to take a few weeks off. When he finally returned, something was off. The numbers dipped. Viewers...
Dude, that was actually probably one of the worst weeks of my life. Not because, like, I had the physical stress of the surgery, which is, like, never fun to deal with. And not even because, like, I lost subs. Like, whatever. Who gives a shit about that? But I was bedridden in my childhood home with my childhood dog, Sophie. And she was also on her deathbed. She was, like, super sick. Like just riddled with cancer. And I was like so like physically torn down. And you know when you're physically torn down, you're so like emotionally vulnerable. I probably cried like 2 hours a day every day. And what I would do to pass the time is I watched all of Attack on Titan. And I was crying at shit I just had no business crying at watching Attack on Titan. Like straight up everything that came out of who's Lil Blondie's mouth? Armin. Everything that came out of Armin's mouth would make me cry. Even the commander leading his army into battle, that killed me, bro.
Ship slid. Not catastrophic, but definitely noticeable. Maybe it was the fear of going back to a normal job, or maybe it was ego. But either way, something inside of Ludwig snapped. Because what he did next didn't just bring the viewers back, it made history.
Boys, today, for the first time ever, we are going to do an uncapped Subathon
So for those of you not familiar with Twitch or streaming in general, a subathon is a special kind of marathon live stream on Twitch, where the length of the stream increases every time someone subscribes to the channel. On Twitch, a subscription, or sub, is a paid monthly support tier, generally costing about $5, but it gives viewers perks like ad-free viewing, exclusive emotes, and badges, plus it directly supports the streamer financially.
And right now is our Twitch Prime ad break, everybody. Thank you so much to Golf Cart for segueing into our Twitch Prime ad break. It's a simple 3-click opportunity for you guys to get ad-free viewing experiences. I'm about to run 3 minutes of ads. Want to dodge them? All you got to do is click the subscribe button. See if the little checkbox says subscribe free. Click on that bad boy and then click the subscribe free button. 3 clicks separates you and 3 minutes of your life back. You could also use it on a channel that you think's more deserving, like most other channels on Twitch. But you're not there right now, you're here. So fuck them. Use it on me. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, Mecha Ghost. Thank you very much. Thank you, Saint Miu. Thank you, Masuno, Crazy Pickle Fan. That was sweet of you.
Love the merch lot.
Thank you. Majin, thank you. Costanza. JD, the Revenge. All right, I'm running 3 minutes of ads. We're going to get back to the video. I'm running 3 minutes of ads. Sorry, y'all. Thank you, W Jumbo. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. Thank you, Fancy Banana, BLR, Mangoes Trees, Fernified, Trevor, Brett Brenskiz, The Simple Potato, Nova, Scott Davis, K-Lock, Henny, no, Hen Ice, Fultan, Rehatsky, Tibertron, Drowsy, Astruian, Outrageous Ben, Sky the Guy. Thank you, Wackzak, Davey Wavy, Baby, Blarg, Just Lex, Leslie, the Mawile, Zero, Paradiddle, Andres for me. Thank you for the subs, chat. That's a lot of damn subs. I appreciate it. That's a lot of damn subs. I already spent $125 on your website. Well, you're watching on YouTube, so you got less ads anyway. God bless. BB Shadow, thank you for the raw tier 1. Odie, thank you for the 20 months. Zastrox, thank you for the 8 months. It's weird how as you get older, you get more. Wait, it's weird how as you get older, you get more irrationally emotional. I don't know if that's my experience. I think I've become more empathetic, maybe, but I don't know if I consider it irrational.
Video slowly watching the light in your eyes going out.
Okay, the light in my eyes is not going out. I have a lot of light in my eyes. I have a plethora of light. I might have too much light in my eyes.
I've been here too long. I remember most of this video.
Dude, I've been here too long. I'm like, fuck, this shit's old as fuck. How am I still doing this? Nadraj, thank you for the prime. Thank you very much. Erlin Meyer Flask, Skylake, Panda Jit. Is that how I pronounce Maytech? Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. All right, let's get back to the video, y'all. Appreciate the primers. I thank you very much. When are you starting the Nuzlocke? I'm thinking July 11th.
Now, typically streamers put a cap on their subathon, meaning no matter how many subs roll in, the stream ends at a set time. But Ludwig, he didn't bother with a cap. His stream would keep going for as long as chat kept feeding the timer. Here's how it worked. Every new sub added 30 seconds to the stream, and when he first hit go live, the clock was set at 30 minutes. That's it, half an hour. Just a few minutes later, the timer had already climbed to 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 35 seconds. Quick math for you, that translates to 193 subs and roughly $965 in just minutes. For the next 31 days, Ludwig lived on camera. Every moment, every mundane detail of his life was shared with tens of thousands of viewers. He gamed, he cooked, he worked out, he showered in shorts, thank God, and he slept. But even when he slept, the stream didn't stop. Every time Ludwig went to bed, he'd wake up finding the timer even longer than before. 30 hours, 40, 50.
The thing says 60 hours, which seems a little high.
By day 10, Ludwig wasn't just streaming, he was dominating the internet, the most watched man on Twitch, and all he was doing was living his life. After 2 weeks, the subathon and
I do need to add a slight correction to the perhaps revisionist history. I was the biggest streamer on Twitch for just the duration of my subathon. My subathon was halfway through March to about halfway through April. If you look in the month of March, XQC was a bigger streamer. If you look in the month of April, XQC was a bigger streamer. But just in the month that I was doing the subathon, I was the biggest streamer. It was a very narrow window. I have about 30 days out of the entire history of Twitch's existence where I was the biggest streamer in the world. But that's where I got it.
outgrown its humble beginnings, and with no end in sight, Ludwig and the team decided to cut the time added per sub in half, from 20 seconds down to just 10. And yet, the timer would not die, even when Ludwig stepped away, leaving the
Actually, that's a third.
stream in the hands of his friend Slime. The audience only grew. Slime hosted chaotic trucking simulators in full Bass Pro cosplay. The boys ripped for hours, and it was so stupidly fun that viewers were more hooked than ever. By early April, Ludwig's Subathon had crossed into uncharted territories. Donations spiked, viewers rallied, and eventually Ludwig and the team decided to hard cap the stream at 31 days. And because of that, a new goal emerged: to break the record. On April 13th, with the timer no longer extending and tens of thousands watching, the number ticked upward. Ludwig had officially become the most subscribed Twitch streamer of all time. The last few hours were surreal. Tension gave way to nostalgia. The race car bed was destroyed in celebration. Donations poured in, not for time, but for charity. Ludwig pledged over $350,000 to causes like St. Jude's and the Humane Society. Then, as the timer hit 0, Ludwig sat quietly in front of his camera. No grand finale, no gimmicks. Just a salute and a screen fading to black for the first time in a month. The Subathon pulled over 283,034 active subscribers, generated millions of hours watched, and launched a new format that many would imitate, but few would ever match. It was a once-in-a-lifetime moment, and Ludwig knew it.
It was sick, huh? It has been, I would argue it has been matched a few times. I think Iron Mouse Subathon has surpassed it. Kai's Subathon. I guess it is just a few times though. I do see a lot more Subathons. Subathon 2. I don't see the point. I think what I did was awesome, and I think I've generally had a philosophy of like do some awesome shit, then move on and do some other awesome shit. I'm not really a fan of just repeating something for the sake of doing it again. I know that's dumb sometimes. Like, it would just work. I know that. But like usually I want to try something new. Yeah.
The thing no one tells you about blowing up online is what comes next. Everyone's ready for the rise, the subscribers, the headlines, the attention, all focused in one direction: you. In the content world, most creators only get one act. You blow up, you ride the high, and eventually you fade. It's nothing personal, it's just the nature of the game.
Here's what, dude, the rise is so awesome though. The rise is so awesome. They don't talk about how awesome it is. It's fucking awesome. You feel on top of the world. You feel like everything you've ever dreamed of is worth it, and all your poured in hours is seeing a return, and life cannot get bad. It's so sick. And then life keeps going, and you're like, fuck. And then it keeps going, you're like, damn. And then it never stops.
Happened. The subathon ended, and I got 283,000 subs. I was the most sub streamer. Bunch of media attention around it. I had the highest viewers I've ever had, 200,000 people watching live at one moment. The most subs anyone's ever had ever. I was like, dope. I cried from joy. And obviously, like, for that month, I was like the biggest Twitch streamer. And I thought after that, I was like, I made it. Red carpet, all right, paparazzi. I thought from that,
I guess I've told this story a lot.
and on, I was gonna be the biggest streamer in the world. And I wasn't.
I fell off drastically.
Like, crashed down to almost less than I had before I even did the subathon.
I had the biggest fall off anyone's ever had, in fact, on Twitch. I went from 280,000 subs to 0, which no one's ever done.
But Ludwig wasn't.
Shout out Kai and Iron Mouse. They have both had a bigger fall off than me. Appreciate them taking that off my shoulders. It was a big burden to carry. They have lost more than 283,000. I think Kai lost 700,000. He damn near tripled me.
Interested in being another character in that game. Instead, he decided to take the controller and make his own.
Post Subathon, there was also a moment where your Twitch contract ends.
Yeah, the subathon had kind of wrapped up, and the contract.
Why we keep using the fucking shoulder raise clip?
Contract was ending, and I started to talk to Twitch, and we chatted. It didn't feel like Twitch wanted me as much as I thought. Maybe they should. Maybe self-righteously, I thought like they should want me. I'm the most subbed guy. and I started to rethink if I wanted to be on Twitch.
Dude, I didn't shower before this interview, and I regret it every time I look at it. I don't know what's going on.
I would still have viewers if I was bald.
No, you would not.
Yeah, people like me because I'm witty and I'm bilingual.
Yeah, so am I.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Oh, yeah? What language you speak?
American Sign Language.
Prove it.
Thank you.
Everyone knows that.
Cat.
That was kind of impressive.
Father. You know what poop is? Huh. It's pretty much the same one.
Yeah, it's just like a different color.
Yeah. Just want to take that home?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Ludwig didn't see his YouTube deal as a platform.
Not in this car. Cinema. Yeah, I actually that video is kind of fire. That video is kind of fire. I gave my friend Christian, I moved him from New Hampshire to LA, and he works for me now. He's like my childhood friend, and I gave him my purple Jetta, so he drives it around now. And I just drive around my Vespa for the most part. And he had no idea why the car was purple. Aiden told him like last week. He thought that I just liked purple cars. And he never questioned it. And I was like, no, there's a whole lore. I had to paint it purple. It was part of the video. I do like the color purple. It's probably a little bit loud for my taste, though.
From Switch, he saw it more as a blank canvas. Not the kind you see in a museum where the final painting is already a perfectly crafted Mona Lisa, but the kind you use when you're about to watch a Bob Ross how-to.
So it didn't actually blow up? Yes, that one did. There was 3 cars. There was the red car, there was the purple car we blew up where the engine is removed, and then there was a third purple car that we drove around at the start of the video. But you have to have an engine removed to blow it up, and so you need 2 cars. It's easier than having 1 car and removing the engine.
2, because you don't know the first thing about painting.
YouTube, I mean, they make you feel like you're having drinks with your buds at the table. And so talking with them more and more, I started to feel better about it.
With YouTube backing him, he suddenly had the freedom to try anything, and that's exactly what he did. He wanted a space where he could talk about whatever he wanted. No chat weighing in live, no stress of getting banned on his main channel again, and somewhere he felt comfortable uploading videos that would help him in creating content.
And this is the first time I've ever said this, but the reason that I created this channel in the first place is because I thought that I was going to start uploading videos on a different channel than the channel that I was live streaming from when I started my YouTube contract. And what it started to develop into is this channel became a place where I honed a skill that I was incredibly bad at, which is offline recordings.
Every Mogul Mail upload was a surprise. There was everything from life advice to personal updates to commentary about creator slop.
This is awkward.
Do you regret going to YouTube? Not even a little bit, to be honest. Because I think multi-streaming is just it's just very powerful when you have an audience on multiple channels. Like, iShowSpeed is multi-streaming. And I think if I never had a YouTube era, if I tried to multi-stream, it would do very bad. But like, I have equivalent viewership on each. Like right now, for example, we have 11,000 whatever people on Twitch and 11,000 whatever people on YouTube. It's like almost 50-50. It's almost damn 50-50. And I don't think that'd happen if I didn't have 3 years on YouTube. Say Valkyrie was right. I'd never say it to her face. You trashed multi-streaming when you came back to Twitch? Yeah, I was probably wrong on that one. You're going to learn something about me. I'm incredibly confident in every decision I make. That doesn't make the decision right. It just means I'm confident in a wrong decision. But it doesn't mean I'm not willing to admit I'm wrong later and change my actions. And now we multi-stream. But you don't love us as much as Twitch chat? I don't love YouTube chat as much as Twitch chat. Yeah, that's because after I end every single YouTube live stream or live stream, one of you motherfuckers goes into the comments and says, oh my God, I got here just as it ended. And I've had that for 4 years. And it's like, okay, I get it. I've had that comment every fucking stream for 4 years.
Because this is 21 Savage, who just released an album with Drake, scamming Aiden Ross out of thousands of dollars when he's worth eight something figures.
Dude, Mogul Mail was kind of fun for a period. Mogul Mail was fun for a period.
Crazy thing to do even if you're not rich, but it's just extra levels of crazy when you are that rich, that famous, and also in front of 100,000 people.
At the same time, he was giving away pieces of the empire that he had built throughout the years, and he wasn't handing out pieces in charity, but in loyalty. Earlier that year, Ludwig and his friends Nick, Aiden, and Slime started The Yard.
I had an idea. We get our shit together, and we make a podcast.
I like the fact checking by the mods. Yeah, I think it was a good initiative, but I don't know how valuable it was in the sense that I don't know how many people actually looked at it or cared about it. But it was just a fun way to record content because I just never record content like that.
So, what about calling it The Yard?
Bring back Mogul Mail. I don't think so. I don't think it's necessary to bring back. I think the issue is it's a waste of energy. Like, outside of views and money, which are cool. That's great. It was me reading drama every day to try to be updated so I could inform people on it. And then when you watch the videos, it's as useless of information as you can possibly have. Now, is it a fun thing to maybe watch 15, 20 minutes during a lunch break? Sure. You know, you watch some slop, you move on, whatever. But like, especially when it gets heavier and there's like a YouTuber or streamer accused of harassment, assault, whatever, and then that's what it's about, and it's like, okay, now I'm spending all day researching that. It's like, I think I just enjoy my life more when I'm only watching Dodgers baseball in one piece, and then my job is just separate from my job. You know, I don't like the idea of trying to learn everything about every drama to contextualize it for other people, because then that becomes what I'm thinking about. And I don't think it's very valuable. Now, the one thing I miss from Mogul Mail is more candid off-camera life updates. You know, to be able to like say my opinion on stuff. And I think maybe I'd bring that back, but I could just do it on Ludwig. I think that's fine. I think it's weird to do it like once every 4 months on Mogul Mail.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Okay.
good.
I don't know.
That's good.
I like that a lot.
That's a
Hey,
good.
you like
put
it?
her there.
Okay.
You did great.
How do you do this
All right.
all the time?
Don't do this again. Don't do it.
Another good idea out of Ludwig.
I don't know.
How do you always do it? How do you always do it?
Crazy.
I don't think I can.
I like it.
Just do it. Let's get started.
Yeah,
All right. Come on,
alright.
guys.
The Yard was his way of saying thank you, because for Ludwig, those three guys were more than just friends. They had been there before the spotlight ever found its way to him, and instead of leaving them behind, they sat down in a couple of lawn chairs, turned on the mics, and talked like the cameras didn't exist. And it popped, with every episode getting hundreds of thousands of views and a Patreon with almost 59,000 members. The Yard was printing more money than Ludwig knew what to do with, so splitting the near $250,000 a month only felt right. It wasn't just a podcast, it was profit sharing disguised as a hangout. But Ludwig didn't want to just make things, he wanted to enable others to do the same, to help creators whose ideas were bigger than their budgets.
I started
The
a
Yard
company
rules.
called Offbrand with the idea of making events for not just myself, but other creators.
Offbrand Studios was officially launched on September 27th, 2022, with big expectations for the future. Now, event production is no easy task. The logistics, live problem solving, and massive behind-the-scenes efforts make it a constant challenge. Lucky for Ludwig, he had experienced employees lined up at the door. There were multiple people staffed from his own company, Mogul Moose, and even Beyond the Summit, the same production company that he worked with throughout his entire career.
I just can never wear these
His own
pants
company,
again.
Mogul Moose.
Like, what are these pants? It looks like you painted black onto my legs.
And even Beyond the Summit, the same production company that he worked with throughout his entire career. Now, for those of you who don't know, Beyond the Summit was a production company that played a huge role in shaping the culture of esports. They held events for games like Dota 2, CSGO, Rocket League,
Oh my gosh, thank you for the 10 gifted you Forla.
and of course, both of the Super Smash titles. It was known as a community-driven company that cared equally about the fans and the players, but with the esports community taking a tumble, they were eventually forced to shut down in early 2023. But Offbrand wasn't trying to be Beyond the Summit. Its goal wasn't to just host gaming tournaments, it was to challenge the norms of live streaming. For example, XQC's gaming show Juiced. Juiced was a game show where contestants would compete in games of wit and athleticism to win the final prize, which was basically to not get juiced. It wasn't a brand new idea, but for streaming, it was. And sure, the actual event was a little scuffed at the beginning, but for it being Offbrand's first one, it was considered a success. Writing the success of Offbrand,
Juice was kind of fun, I think. It had some good episodes in there.
Ludwig's mindset was to do one thing: take streaming to places that couldn't even be imagined.
What's chess boxing?
The coolest sport ever, dude.
What?
It is one round of chess, and then you switch for one round of boxing, and you alternate
Dude, I
until
can't believe
somebody
Toph
wins by
announced
checkmate
in
or
chess
knockout.
boxing.
The internet was split,
That's so
one half
funny.
eager with anticipation and the other laughing. But both sides ended up tuning in, with the stream getting 315,000 peak viewers, close to a full 100k more than his month-long subathon. The thought of the event was so far-fetched that it shouldn't have worked, and depending on how you look at it, it didn't. The chessboxing event lost close to $150,000 of Ludwig's own money, but it wasn't about profit, it was about what was possible, and that same thought process persisted through every event.
This was the coolest event I've ever been able to do, and I hope it was worth your time.
From the Streamer Games, a multi-day competition that felt as if the Olympics had a YouTube channel.
We won Ludwig Streamer Games, okay? Everyone's gonna call it rigged. It's not rigged.
To the Creator Dodgeball Tournament. It
It
became
wasn't rigged. I'm just an athlete.
evidently clear that everything Ludwig did had to be one thing: different. And for a while, that's exactly what Offbrand was, a successful production company behind multiple events, many of which pulled a substantial viewership.
True.
But by late 2024, Offbrand began to eerily resemble Beyond the Summit.
And that's the end of the video. Everything went well. Okay, guys, good video. Shout out.
In more ways than one. Cracks started to show in a business model that proved nearly impossible to sustain. Production costs exceeded what most creators were willing or able to pay. In the end, the combination of an unstable industry and financial mismanagement led Offbrand to officially shut down on December 13th, 2024.
Unfortunately, yesterday we had to announce that we're closing down the production side of Offbrand.
In a space obsessed with being bigger, faster, louder, Ludwig's secret weapon is that he's never pretended to be anything that he's not. It's not talent, plenty of people are talented. It's not discipline, he streams maybe 4 hours a day.
My ideal dream is...
Okay, buddy. I have some 5-hour streams in there. Okay. I got some fucking 5-hour streams in there, pal. Let's relax on that one.
that I stream 4 hours, 6 days a week, right? I have done maybe 4 hours, 6 days this month. Okay? And the month is damn near over.
It's not luck. He's made his fair share of mistakes. What makes him stick out among a crowd is how little he hides. How he not only shares his wins, but also his losses. He made the Yard's Patreon numbers public, helped creators' ideas come to life, and paved the way for others to follow. At the same time, he's admitted to hating his second channel, Mogul Mail.
I don't like talking about these things. It's not like a big mood lifter for my day.
Dude, this streak was fucking horrible. Oh my God, this streak sucks so bad. I remember this. Oh my God. It was crazy. Fucking Dr. Disrespect into Sketch, into Ava Chris Tyson, into Cody Ko. That was horrible. That was horrible.
A big mood lifter for my day. In addition to not wanting to make stuff that I don't think is good.
Those views though, but who gives a shit? I'm gonna fucking die. I'm 30. Who gives a shit? Why does it matter? Does it? It's like, I don't know. What's a good example? It's like being like, it's like making a Coco Melon song and getting 500 million views. And like inside of you, you think you might have the potential to be an amazing artist, you know? Like fucking Mozart is deep inside you and you're stuck in making Coco Melon songs. And everyone's like, dude, but your Coco Melon shit's getting 400 million views. And you're like, who cares? I want to make something better.
Making stuff that is incredibly heavy has made it harder.
When his company Offbrand eventually was forced to close its production branch, he didn't shy away about why.
So you're not Mozart? Yeah, I feel like I'm more of a Tchaikovsky than a Mozart. Or maybe a Beethoven.
The issue was less that events don't make money.
but more so that the appetite from creators for events of that scale at the cadence it would need to be would not allow people to be employed full-time.
He's been brutally honest about his fears of parasocial relationships with his fans.
You shouldn't form a relationship with me. At the end of the day, I'm entertainment. If I stop entertaining, you stop watching.
I agree with that 100%. I think people watch streams and they get really attached. Jakura for life, motherfuckers. I'm saying, Jakura for life. I hope that shit's real. I hope that shit's real. 30's been good though.
A lot of creators lean into parasocial relationships, acting like the chat is just one of the boys, and if they ever met in real life, that they would be the best of friends. But in actuality,
none of your content creators, your favorite ones, including me, are your friends.
He pushed the narrative that you don't really know your favorite creator, and that's okay.
Yeah, I feel like even coming on this show could promote social relationships if I'm being too real.
Yeah.
And then they're like, damn, Ludwig's so real. I actually like him now. And then they give me their money.
So
and they're like, I love you. And then they're my DMs, Dr. K.
Even on stream, he isn't playing up an online.
I like Dr. K. We should chat with Dr. K again, bro. I haven't done a chat with Dr. K in a minute. We've hung out offline sometimes. I think that was probably the last time we chatted. Was offline. I think we got like lunch.
Character. Some days he shows up with no plan, no prepped content, no setup bits that have to be executed at a certain time. He'll play a random game, react to other creators' videos, or ask chat what they want to
Really? Yeah, we've hung out like a few times offline. I think we've done like 2 in person.
do. Now, don't get me wrong, sometimes it can be less than 3.
You look great for 30. Okay, I see what you are saying here, and I appreciate the thought of that comment. Just understand that actually hurts more than if someone said you look like shit.
Other times it can be hilariously entertaining, but it's always authentic. Because unlike so many creators obsessed with maintaining the illusion of control, Ludwig seems fine admitting that he doesn't always know what the hell he's doing.
So how are you finding fulfillment in other areas of your life then? You said your girlfriend, you said your job, helping out other people. Let's get down to like some specifics of what you've seen make a measurable difference on your happiness.
Seeing everybody at the office gives me a lot of joy, and making a cool show and then doing the picture at the end where we all group up.
I've become an old man in some ways. Like the things that make me the most happy in my day-to-day outside of like personal relationships is like
cup of coffee,
getting a coffee, walking and going to watch the sunset. I think that I find peace in those things.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the day, if anything bad happens in life, someone else had it worse. And I think that you can just look at the positives.
If I believe that I'll fall off and everyone will fall off, then why have ego in viewership? Why not just ride it out as best you can for however long the ride lasts?
Okay, so you're just assuming that things are going to fall apart at some point. But it also sounds like falling apart doesn't really sound like falling apart. Like things will end, but there's like a connotation with falling apart that you don't really lean into too much.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know how it'll end. It could end very gracefully and beautifully. It could also be my terabyte hard drive of me saying slurs that gets leaked. Whatever it is, less gracefully. But I think either results, it would work out.
That was a joke. Good video. Good video here. Releasing this on his birthday is kinda crazy. Big Ludwig fan here. His comedic timing and transparency is what keeps me coming back, even though I don't agree with some of his opinions. Bro, Lud said he went from 280K subs on Twitch to 0 is hilarious because it was him moving to YouTube. Close friends. Bro knows the OG memes. Great video. Oh, look, it's Armand. Ludwig has so much lore on the internet. The information is condensed really well, and I like the timeline and the topics you chose to highlight. It made me realize I've attended every one of Ludwig's events in LA. My man. I think it's cool that you are lifting another person up instead of what is often seen on this platform. Actually true. It's funny. You know who is a clean example of that is Sunny V2. He used to make videos uplifting other creators, and they did worse comparatively, so he switched to only negative videos. This is a sweet video. I think the video was very good, and I'm flattered you thought to make one on me. I don't always know what I'm doing, and I mess up a lot, but I hope that I continue to be worthy of effortful video essays like this in the future? Smiley face. Colon 3. Is colon 3 for millennials? Is that an old thing to do? Because I'm not switching. I don't care. I'm not switching off that shit. That shit rules. No, I think that was a good video. That was a good video. I've shifted, I think, some of the thoughts that I've had in that video, but I thought it was pretty well made. There's some crazy deep cut shit in there, especially pulling the Mr. HBHS hosting. I don't know how they found that, to be honest. That was kind of a fucking poll. Yeah, it had some deep cuts in there. Deep cut, excuse me. Anyway, chat. I'm 30 now. And yesterday was my birthday party. My birthday. I had a pretty crazy birthday party in the sense that it's probably the biggest birthday party I've ever had. Cutie had been working on this birthday party for a while. It was like a death of the 20s, a funeral themed birthday party where everybody wore all black attire, and some of my friends even gave eulogies to me as if I were not alive. Plus, we had the famous DJ Drizz who performed. But it was an interesting occasion. It was an interesting occasion. Now, first off, I want to give a big shout out to my girlfriend Cutie because big shout out to my close friend Cutie because she went crazy, bro. Like, the venue was beautiful, and she worked so hard on a gorgeous cake for my birthday. I mean, it literally, like, the amount of hours she put in is it's insane. But the actual venue is the oldest bar in Hollywood. It's the oldest bar in Hollywood. It's called the Burgundy Room. The Burgundy Room, established in 1919. That's where we had the party at. And it's kind of a crazy venue. It's kind of a crazy venue. I'll try to show you some pics of it. But it has like an indoor-outdoor area. Older than you? Yes, 1919 is older than me. Thank you for the question. But yeah, this is it. The red lighting makes it a bit hard to see. But it was cool. It was cool. Everyone came through. I think they're like, I don't know, man. It was crazy how many people I've met. But like 50 to 100 people came through. And I think everybody who came got me a birthday present, which I usually don't like getting birthday presents. I usually ask people to just give me a piece of advice for the next year of my life. But Cutie had this idea where I'd get 100 birthday presents and then do a stream opening up 100 birthday presents from 100 different streamers. So we're going to do that. I feel a little cross about it, to be honest, because I feel like I'm going to fucking come on this stream like Dudley from Harry Potter, like a fucking asshole opening up like awesome, cool presents. So it's very sweet. I'm such a horrible gift receiver. I don't know if anyone else struggles with that. This is a lifelong struggle of mine. I'm a horrible gift receiver. I can't handle it. I don't have the emotional depth to receive a very thoughtful gift and you know, express sincerity and it's so hard for me. It's actually why I closed the PO box that I used to have, because it just felt like I had to do that like on repeat, and it was honestly stressful, which I know I'm like, oh, I hated getting gifts. It was so stressful, but it was. But we are going to do that. She said I have to wait a bit though, because there's some gifts from people out of town. So we're probably going to do that next week. That probably won't be this week, but we're going to do that soon. There's like I'll post it on Instagram, but there's a fucking stupid amount of presents. But yeah, the actual birthday was great. We get to the venue. We're the first ones there, which, you know, makes sense. I'm the host. I should be the first one there, but it's a huge venue. No one's there. It's kind of empty. It's just me, my mom, my sister, and QD. And my mom, before, if you guys don't know, my mom's in town. Before the event started, she tried to flake. All right. God bless my mother. Love her deeply. She tried to flake. She was sitting on the couch. She was going, I don't know if I should go to this party. I was like, what? She's like, it's not my scene. There's nobody my age there. I feel like I should just stay here and we can just do something tomorrow. And I was like, Ma, okay, come through. If you're not having fun, you can just leave. You just leave. It's not even a freaking big deal. So she's like, all right, fine. So she got all ready. We all went together. And I drove. I drove because Cutie had to carry the cake. And Cutie was like, hey, I'm going to drive back. Don't worry. You have fun. Go. It's your 30th birthday. Go crazy. Go party. Start drinking. All that. Whatever. But what I didn't tell her, and I actually didn't tell anyone this, is I was planning on not drinking at all. I didn't want to make like a big deal out of it, but I just wasn't planning on drinking. So I just kind of kept it to myself. All right. I've been rocking a pseudo dry July. Pseudo, I'll explain in a bit. But it ended up coming in clutch that I didn't drink later on. But I was basically living life how Nick and Slime do. You know, usually I go to party, I drink, I get a little loose. I have a little fun, whatever. And I was like, okay, well, let me just fucking have all these interactions dead ass sober. And it turns out, by the way, if anyone's not tried this or scared of trying this, it's fun. I had a good time. And nobody knew that I wasn't drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody thought I was like weird or off, which I guess would have been my concern going into it. In fact, I had the opposite problem where, like, I would tell people because I was driving home that I hadn't drank, and then they'd be like, what? And I was just like, yeah, I just didn't drink. So I can drive. I haven't drank. Why do you say pseudo sober? Okay, well, because I get to the party, and one of the first people to arrive is Tens. And Tens is like, come with me to the street. And we're inside this venue, and I'm like, what? He's like, come with me to the street. And, you know, when Big T tells you go to the street, you go to the street. So we start walking outside. And as we're walking, he tells me, yeah, security made me leave this at the front because you're not allowed to bring it inside. But I have some street soju. And I'm like, what is street soju? And he's like, it's a flavor of soju you've never had before. And I'm like, I knew that. You did not have to tell me that. I could have told you I've never had street soju. But what is so special about it? And he's like, you'll have to see it to believe it. We go to the street. The security doesn't allow you to bring your own alcohol inside. So he stashed it like on a wall behind this fence. And it's a lemon flavored soju bottle, which, to his defense, I've never seen before. I know the white peaches. I know the yogurts. I know the originals. I have never seen a lemon soju. And so I had I think 2 drinks the entire night. One of them is me having a sip of Tenz's street soju. And I will say, that shit should be illegal. It tasted like lemonade. That shit should be a crime. And I know it tastes like lemonade because I said to him, I said, Big T, this tastes amazing. And you know what he said to me? He goes, I know, I've had 4. And I'm like, what do you mean? You've been here 5 minutes. And he goes, where do you think I came from? And I went, son of a bitch. So I go back inside and more people start to arrive. You know, we have Lily, Michael, and then we have who I was really looking forward to seeing. My captain, Mi Young. Because now that I've hit 30 years old, I have a lot more wisdom. And I realized I had shame. And I only realized this when I saw her. If you guys don't remember, we did an event called Roomy Rumble. If you didn't see it, it was basically like the AT&T Annihilator Cup, but with a group of friends. But with me in that event, it went from friends to enemies fast. And during a CS2 portion, I said some things that were regrettable. I acted terroristic. And although I did apologize for this, I apologize on stream. Because I think I was too shameful to ever talk to Mi Young personally about it. I was like too embarrassed that I was getting worked up about a CS2 game. This is back in my 20s, mind you, right? Like, this is not something that I would do nowadays, but in my 20s, when I would be playing these video games or whatever it is, I would get so heated. You know, I realize now it's like what matters more is friendships, and like a game could never clash with that because that shit's life, you know? So I had I walked up. I think I literally did a deep fucking bow like I was a shamed Japanese CEO apologizing for having like a sex scandal. I might even said Honta ni Gomenasai. I might have even said that. Mango. I might have said some shit like that. And I apologized to Mi Young and Lily. Lily kept saying, yeah, I watched the clips after. I didn't even know you were mad. I showed Michael. He laughed at it. You were so mad. And you're not even good at CS2. And I was like, yep. And I have to tank this because she's right. She's right. I just have to sit there being like, yep, no, that's true. Yep, you're right. You're right on that one too. Got me again, Lily. And I got my apology off. Which felt good. And as I'm apologizing, I look over to the bar and I see Cutie. Cutie, who is, you know, hosting the party. She's doing a great job. And she's there with Big T and Jason the Ween. And they're talking, and I can slightly hear some pieces of the conversation. They're talking about the in-laws. They keep saying they're all the in-laws. And then Tens calls for an in-law shot. And within seconds, I felt reaffirmed of my decision to not drink because I watch my DD go off the deep end. And I'm like, all right, I am the DD today. Because they poured a shot of Hennessy as a triple. This bar was an open bar. All right. It was supposed to be all covered. There was like a tab that we had to fill. And these bartenders wanted to hit that. They wanted to hit that shit expeditiously. So I saw that happening. I realized how the night was going to go. And I decided to to go see my DJ. Now, we hired Drizz, if you guys don't know, Shake Drizzle. Famous DJ Drizz as the DJ for my party.
My sub is older than you.
Appreciate that. Now, Drizz showed up late. He wasn't even there at this point. In fact, he hadn't even updated where he was. He's the DJ at the party. There's no DJ. We're just rocking like a YouTube auto playlist track. And I text him. I go, where are you? He's like, in the Uber. There in 20 minutes. I'm like, 20 minutes? The party started 30 minutes ago. What do you mean I'm there in 20 minutes? Yingling gets there before him. I'm like, Yingling, what? Where's Driz? And Yingo's like, bro, he texted me saying, when are we pulling up? And I said, you're the fucking DJ. You're supposed to be there. Pulls up. You know Driz, cool as hell. I want to walk up and be mad to him, but whenever he's in his DJ alter ego, he becomes a diva. So I walk up to him, and I'm ready to fucking give him a shellacking, and he goes, rum and coke. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, give me a rum and coke, man. Some tacos too, if you're not busy. I'm like, okay. And at that point, I had signed up on my damn birthday to be Shake's drink runner. I had to get that boy like 3 rum and cokes, 3 different tacos, 2 waters, a fucking back massage. I think at one point he was asking for cigarettes. I said, that's too far. You're not Cam. Let's hold off. But I will say, then we got DJ Driz on the beat. And he was requested to do emo music. Which, to be honest, I thought he was killing it. Right? I'm listening to all the emo tunes. But I do notice not that many people are dancing. And we'll get back to that in a little moment. But first, about like an hour, 2 hours into the party, it's time for the eulogies. Right? The theme of the party is death of my 20s. It's supposed to be a funeral. And 4 people were asked to make a eulogy. Excuse me, 5. Connor, Lily Pichu, Slime, Nick, and Aiden. Basically, they all would get up to the mic, cut the music. They would say some words to me. Really, they would say some words about me as if I was dead. And then it'd move on to the next person. So Cutie takes the mic. She says, hey, everyone, quiet down. It's time for the eulogies. And up first is Connor, right? Sea-Dog. And everyone quiets down. With the exception of Tens, who is loudly telling people right by the bar about an awesome new flavor of soju he has just discovered. Now, he proceeds to engage in this conversation throughout all 5 eulogies in a way that is unavoidably loud enough for every participant in the room to listen to. But that boy's won 2 masters, so we give him the pass. Anyway, Connor goes up, grabs a mic, and Connor forgot he was supposed to do this. He genuinely forgot. Cutie told him like a week ago that he had to write a eulogy. He totally forgot. He's been busy with AX, whatever. She reminded him a couple hours before. He has asked ChatGPT to write this eulogy for him. He hops up on the microphone, and I thought it would be bad. The actuality is it was worse than I thought it could be. Because the first thing he says is he lifts up his drink, and he goes, Ludwig enabling me again. I'm like, Connor, what are we doing? I haven't had a drink. I've had nobody. I've asked, what are we doing? And I want to yell at him, but there's not even a silence to speak through because while he's doing that, you just hear Tens going like, bro, I'm on my 5th. You tell me what it tastes like. And I'm like, oh my God, it's nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. Anyway, he goes through some very sweet stories. We hug. And then the next person goes up for the eulogy. And it's Lily Pichu. Now, if you don't know much about mine and Lily Pichu's relationship, it is not one of love. It's not rooted in mutual understanding, empathy. It is rooted in equal love that we both have for Michael Reeves. It is our true uniter. We both love Michael Reeves dearly. And I don't know if she's ever said a nice thing about me. And I thought the eulogy might change that until she started speaking. Her first words, I always thought Ludwig was an insufferable piece of shit. And I still think that. This is not, none of this is a eulogy. If I was genuinely dead, that's not what you're supposed to say. You're supposed to make some shit up. She proceeds to spend about 4 minutes just kind of roasting me. She brings up my League gameplay, my CS2 gameplay, my old age. She keeps saying now that I'm 30, she actually views us as equals, which is making me realize our entire relationship, she's viewed me as less than equal. She wraps up the speech. We do not hug after her speech. Then Nick gets up. Now, Nick, I was not prepared for his eulogy because I didn't know what he was going to say. Nick proceeds to spend about 5 minutes in detail explaining the way that I died so that this funeral is now happening. He created a fake universe because we're suspending our disbelief. People are giving me eulogies. It's death in my 20s. He's extending that to I am actually dead. And this is how I actually died. And I don't remember the whole thing perfectly. To be honest, I think some of it might be on tape. QD vlogged some of it. So if I can find some, I'll try to put it in a video. But I'll give you just a little piece. Universal Studios Japan. That was the last time we saw Ludwig. When he dove head first into a hyper realistic animatronic Nami from One Piece figure. With hyper realistic, breathtaking breaths. His last words were, "She's real," as he was getting twisted by the metal, trying to combine his face with her bosom. He spent that 5 minutes doing that. I gave you like a 30-second preview. He spent 5 minutes talking about how I died diving into an animatronic in Japan that's hyper realistic that killed me. You should have seen Kelby. He was in tears. And I was watching all these eulogies right next to Leslie and Tina. And Leslie, the theater kid she is acting as if I'm actually dead, even though I'm right next to her. So she keeps like responding to the people giving the eulogy as if I'm not there. So, she'll hear Nick's eulogy about me diving into Nami's breast from One Piece. It should be like, he always was so dumb. And then Tina was just offering backup. Yes, he was dumb. He would do something like that. We'll never be able to tell him he was dumb for that. No, we won't. And I'm sitting there like, guys, I'm here. And then Tina would be like, man, I just feel like there's something in the wind today. I keep hearing something. They do this for all 5 eulogies. So I basically just have to sit there fucking twiddling my thumbs because nobody is talking to me. And tank all the eulogies that are being shared. And the next one was slime, which kind of threw the crowd off a bit because he went into detail about how we met. And if you don't know, me and Slime met the first time playing a Super Smash Brothers money match where I beat him. That was our first time meeting. Our second time meeting, we played a game of Mafia and I showed him my asshole. And he then proceeded to show me his big droopy balls. And he's running the asshole droopy ball story in front of everyone there. And I don't think I've seen the facial expression from Lacey ever before until Slime said, and I showed him my big droopy balls. And it was a mixture of confusion, maybe, disgust, intrigue. It was really a mixture. Your mom was there? Yeah, she was. My mom was there. She stayed. She was there the entire time, also listening to this. Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Yep. And then finally, Aiden went up. And if you guys don't know Aiden's a little softy. Aiden once did a Yard episode by himself and managed to cry. It's been rumored that, I forget which airline, but one of the airlines' safety feature video brought him to tears. He kept saying the acting was incredible. So he gets up there, and I had intel from Zipper3, his girlfriend, that he was rigorously practicing his speech that day. And he starts to talk about me through his lens. Some things that we even saw in the video earlier from Golf Cart about, me wanting to make the Yard to get my friends rich, and about, how I like to, or I at least find joy in trying to help people in my life. Give people I love jobs, retire my mother. And he gives a very sweet speech. I won't try to paraphrase it too much because I'd butcher it. But he does end it by saying, I hope for the rest of my 20s to be a little bit more like Ludwig. Which, if you're going to ask me the last time I cried, is that moment. And we get a nice little hug with Aiden. It was very sweet. And also something I thought a lot about that day, coincidentally. Like before this ever happened. Because I think that was a core tenet of my 20s. Is like, I have this level of success. What brings me more joy than getting more success or more money for my personal income is being able to share this with people I love. Retiring my mother, supporting my sister, getting jobs for my friends, putting my friends in positions to succeed, stuff like that. But in my 30s, I realized I think that's not enough. And I think it's good, mind you. Like there's value. Money helps people find security. It helps people pursue things they want to pursue. But I've spent a lot of time working. And I realize I compensate by using resources I have, money, influence, to help people around me. But what's way more important than that stuff is using my time. And I think you guys probably understand that intrinsically if you think of your own friendships. What's probably a lot better than getting a really nice gift from a friend is like receiving a phone call when you need it. This isn't me saying I'm going to retire. I'm not leaving. It's more so a shift that I'm trying to make of being more thoughtful for friends in my life and family in my life. And instead of using money as the mechanism to show appreciation or love, using my like energy, because I think that means so much more. And I think I've made those conscious efforts a little bit, but it's just about, continuing to do that, fine tuning it, and then also doing it in a way that's like sustainable with work. I think that's what I truly want. So you won't show up to the yard 20 minutes late anymore? Let's not get carried away. I'm still me. All right? I'm still going to be late to shit. And let me tell you, I think every eulogy mentioned that. It's just about reaffirming, what is important and putting energy and time into the important things. That's really it.
Ludwig Hyper's in the chat.
Holy shit. Laserbeam, thank you for the 30 gifted. Welcome to being 30. Holy fuck, it's going to be so awesome when I stream at 100. That stream's going to go crazy. I just get 100 bombs. Thank you for the 30 gifted Laserbeam. I appreciate it very much. That was very kind of you. But no, it was a good night. After the eulogies, DJ Drizz got back on the tracks until Tarek drunkenly came up to me and started blasting Drizz. He goes, "This is the worst DJ I've ever heard." And I go, "Dude, that's DJ Drizz. He was free." And he's like, "You did not have to tell me he was free. I could tell." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Bro, he's playing emo music." And we get him up there. I have Tarek confront Shake about this directly. Tarek gets up there. Tarek, if you don't know, is actually a sweetheart. So the moment he gets up there, he starts going, "Dude, you're killing it, man. Maybe we could do like a little bit of hip hop or EDM." And Shake, unaware of the conversation that just happened, is like, "Yeah, dude, like whatever. I was just told to play emo, but I have a whole playlist." He's like, "It's totally up to you, bro." And then Drizz switches to his usual playlist. The dance floor starts to get crazy. The emo music it was a fitting choice for the theme, but not for the dance floor. It was a good call by Tarek. I'll give it to him. It was a good call by him. I think Lily Pichu hugged me for the first and last time ever. It was the nicest thing she's ever said and done. She hugged me and just said, "Happy birthday." There was no sarcasm after. There was no joke. She just said that and then walked away. Which I'm still baffled by it, to be honest. I was able to avoid the temptation of the dozen smokers who consistently, after one drink, started pulling out cigarettes and asking me to smoke. I would like to say I'm proud of myself. Because let me tell you, that's tempting. That is tempting. And I'm sitting there like Zorro after tanking all of Luffy's pain. And it's just a bunch of Sanjis coming up with cigarettes. And I'm just like, I'm good. Turn that shit down. Because I'm 30 now. I'm 30 and I'm a master of my own mind, and temptations will not take control of me. Boom. That's my 30-year-old wisdom.
Ludwig Hyper's in the chat. We are back on board.
Adapt with 100 gifted? Holy shit. Adapt. Okay. Chad, I feel like we have a pretty good impression of Adapt. Adapt was fucking hilarious on The Yard. I think in the content you've seen, he's the GOAT. I'm going to glaze him here. But he's also so sweet offline. And I get shit. Bro. I got shit at the eulogies. I got shit from some people that I'll call the Phase Boys for relevance in my 30-year-old sunsetting era. Which, look, it doesn't hurt to have Jason the Ween in a TikTok, sure. But man, it's such a disservice to the good human behind, I think, the soul of Phase, Adapt. Because I saw Adapt in deep conversation. I'm telling you, not like a fucking, hey, how's it going? Yeah, no, I'm Adapt. I'm from here. I saw him in deep conversation for 20 minutes with the most random fucking people. I'd look over, he'd be talking to like Nick about how banging on your neighbor's upstairs roof to get them to quiet down has felled off. They're making a tier list of shit that fell off. And one of them was banging on your upstairs neighbors to get them to quiet down. They had the most random ass conversations. And he sent me a very sweet message after. Yeah, Deb, you fucking rule, man. I like that guy deeply. I think he rules. And I'm not just saying that because he gave me $500 awesome dollars, which is one of my favorite things. He rules. You're the GOAT. Appreciate you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for coming, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. You know, actually, all the Phase Boys were quite sweet. Ron made me a cake. He came. He showed me the cake. He filmed me trying it. And we were doing like our content thing. And then after, I was like, the cake's pretty good. And he's like, you really think so? It was so sweet. I lied. It was fucking horrible. It was genuinely one of the worst cakes I've ever had in my life. But just seeing him sweetly sit there being like, you know, you really... So different from the Ron you see on camera. He's just like, you really think so? That was awesome. I had a conversation at one point with Saikuno. Because again, everyone had to get me a gift. They didn't have to, but Cutie asked them to get me a gift, I should say. And Saikuno comes up to me and he gives me $100 in cash. And I'm like, what's this? He's like, it's your birthday gift. I'm like, that's crazy. Thank you for the $100. He's like, I thought about getting you a gag gift. And I was like, oh, yeah, I had some people trying to get me a cane. And he was like, yeah, I have a bunch of diapers from when I would used to play with them with slime, but I figured you wouldn't need any of those. And I was like, bro, what is that? It was a crazy poll. Apparently he had a deep heart-to-heart with slime. They've chopped it up. Saikuno on the Yard 2025. It is going to happen. Yeah, more valuable than the $100 was him saying that to me, because I'll probably think of him saying that until I die. But no, it was very sweet. It was very sweet seeing everybody. Michael actually got a gift for Cutie. You see, as the party was dying down, it was close to like 1:30 in the morning. People got pretty drunk. Cutie at this point, because she had taken her in-law shot, was drunk. And Tens was there as well. And we were thinking of going to like, like a KBBQ spot after. And Michael was there, and he had come with a gift for Cutie, which was, a bit. It was like a gift that he had gotten for her for birthday, but never got to give her. And he shows up with a less lethal gun. Now, I've never heard of this. I've never heard of this until Michael told me about it. It's not a non-lethal gun, to be clear. It is a less lethal gun. And what it is, it's a gun that uses a CO2 canister to propel a .68 caliber plastic bullet at a target, to ideally have them stop the behavior they're doing, whatever it is. But it's not like a paintball gun. This shit isn't like an airsoft gun. It's called less lethal, not non-lethal. And I don't know what that boy Tens was drinking. But the moment Cutie gets it, I'm holding on to it, right? I'm the sober one. I'm the one who's going to drive us. He goes, shoot me with that. I'm like, nope. He goes, trust me, shoot me with that. I tank it. And I have to go through. I go, brother, this is less lethal. It's not non-lethal. You think this is going to be a paintball gun, but this is going to hurt. This could really fuck you up. He goes, then shoot my ass. I go, what do you think your ass is? What do you think you got back there that is going to fix this situation? He goes, fine, I'll shoot you after. And I go, that's not the problem. Tens, the problem isn't that I'm not getting shot. And he goes, my bad. You shoot me once. I shoot you 3 times. I'm like, you're not getting it. I can't shoot you. You can't shoot me. He's like, I'm not following. I'm like, the gun is less lethal. It's a .68 caliber bullet. This is going to really hurt. It can really fuck you up for a while. He goes, that's why we're shooting the ass. And I'm like, okay, we're in a fucking loop. We're in a loop. I need to get out of this loop. So I say, if you wake up in the morning and you want me to shoot you and you shoot me, I will do that. And we shook on that. Boys, I can tell you safely, I've not gotten a text from Tens since. I can tell you very much so I've not gotten a text from Tens since. But you know what? It also highlighted the main question that everybody asks you when you turn 30. Because when you turn 30, you get asked something that feels like a generic question that doesn't really have an answer. How does it feel to be 30? How does it feel to be in the next decade of your life? People ask me that all night. And the whole night, I'm like, I don't fucking know. I went to bed 29 years and 364 days old. I woke up 30. It's not a big shift that happened. It was just another morning. How did it feel waking up a day older today for you guys? And that's what I was initially thinking. But that's because I'm comparing 30 against 29 and 364 days. When I truly thought about what it is to be 30, it was me being sober at my own birthday, driving Tens to a Korean barbecue spot, trying to convince him that we shouldn't shoot each other with a less lethal gun. Because one of us has to be that person. And there's a bit of charm from a young, 23, 24-year-old, however old Tens is. Getting fucked up off soju, wanting to shoot himself with a fucking less lethal gun. But when you're 30, the charm is gone. The charm is gone. It is time to reaffirm the things that are important in life and chase them, unflippantly. Not being distracted by the maybe younger, simpler pleasures. I think that's the real fit or flip. That's the real change, I guess, being 30. And I think I felt it. I think I had a come to 30 moment. Did Michael say why he got Cutie the gun? Self-defense. With that being said, Tens is engaged and you're not. Anyway, chat, thank you guys so much for watching today. Thank you for the 20 gifted subs. It's Nesh. Appreciate that, Nesh. Thank you very much for the 20 gifted. That is an insane amount of gifted. How was the cake? The cake was fucking delicious. The cake was electric, man. It was a great ass cake. I've also decided what I'm going to do for my next birthday. I already thought about it. My next birthday, the Dodgers should be playing on July 6th. I'm going to buy every seat in an entire row for all my friends. And the goal is to catch a home run ball. That's the only gift I want. Whoever catches it gives it to me. I'll get you all the seats. You get me the ball. Buy out the stadium. There's 65,000 seats at 150 a pop. I can't afford that. At $10 a pop, I can't afford that. I'll just get a section and pray. But chat, I am 30. I am not retiring as a creator. But I do think I'm doubling down on the things that I think are cool. We talked deeply about a tip to tip too. I'm very much looking forward to Streamer Games 2. I have several captains picked out. Tomorrow, we are doing an Musume tournament. In fact, actually, we should probably spend a little bit of time on that right now. Chat, tomorrow at 10 a.m., we are doing an Musume tournament. And I have 16 creators who want to be a part of this. Initially, it was going to be 8. Unfortunately, maybe fortunately, it's so popular that I had to expand it from 8 to 16. So let me get the list of people. Charlie, no, that was a misclick. That was his voice, though. Good looks. Thank you for the sub chat. I appreciate it. So here it is. Here's the list of creators who I've asked. Okay, first off, I'm competing. Skara, Connor, Pete, Northern Lion, Alex, Chibli, Saikuno, Stans, Lily Pichu, Pay Money Wubby, Slime, Squeaks. How many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then I don't, Coney asked to participate. I want Coney to participate. Coney, I think Clint said he wanted to participate. So we'll ask Clint. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then I think I might ask Danny. I spelled that so wrong. But shifter. Vanilla Mace. I asked her. She can't do it. So I think this is going to be our group. The way I think it should work. I think we get 16 people. We're going to start at 10 in the morning tomorrow. Everyone has to be on a fresh account. Everybody will get... I think we could even do 3 hours to train up a full roster of horses. And then at 1 o'clock, we all get into a private lobby together. And we do 10 races in a row. Now, you have to be a certain rank to be able to do a private lobby. I believe it's E3. I think that's pretty easy to do in 3 hours, right? Because you only have to go from E1 to E3. I think that should be pretty easy. Not really. I think you guys are being dumb here. I'm pretty sure it's incredibly easy to get E3 in like maybe 4 career runs. In 3 hours, you could easily do like 6 career runs. I mean, you'd have to do skip, skip, but whatever. Like if you did no skip, sure, but you just do skip, skip. Obviously, everyone's going to be doing skip, skip. Do a run? I did a run. It took me an hour, and I wasn't doing skip, skip the whole time. Do a test run. I think we're going to do 10 races. You get 1 horse. And we'll just do a set racetrack. I'll probably do a set racetrack. And I'll tell people ahead of time so they can choose which horse they want to use. Do a test run right now? I don't think I can. I think we should just do mile distance. We could do medium distance, actually. Maybe medium distance is better. Yeah, I think medium is the easiest for every horse to be good at. All right, we'll do medium distance. Okay, so medium distance. We're starting at 10 a.m. because Northern Lion schedule. We're trying to work around it. And the expectation is everybody would finish 3 careers so that they could have their 2 parent UMAs and then their final UMA. Right? 3 careers. It would probably be... How long is a race? I mean, it's like what? I know how long the race is. Like what? Fucking 5 minutes at most? No, it's not even. It's like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. As long as we start by 10:30, we should be able to have 3 hours of training time. Maybe 3 hours is too long, though. I might just do 2 hours for training time. All right, I need to make a little copy pasta. Add a penalty. My idea was dead last would have to sing the make debut song on their stream. And dance. Okay. Hello. I would like to confirm your participation in the Ultimate Uma Musume tournament happening July 8th, 10 a.m. PT. The tournament will run at most 4 hours. The format, 2 to 3 hours to train. Start on a fresh account and spend 2 to 3 hours grinding a max of 3 different horses. You will need to... What does 3 horses guarantee get you E3? No, not at all. A max of 5 horses with a goal. You must hit E3 to be able to participate in the races. You cannot use real money at any point. You can re-roll your account up to 1 time. After training, we will all enter a PvP lobby and do 10 medium length races. You will receive points based off your placements in each race. Whoever has the most points at the end wins. The loser of the competition will have to sing and dance the make debut song on their stream. The winner will receive a Blu-ray copy of Uma Musume Pretty Derby movie.
That is a crazy punishment.
And 10,000 carrots. Do you think 1 reroll is too little? Should it be up to 2 rerolls? The issue is they can't reroll too much because they do have to eventually get E3. And if they take too long, like, need a variety of races? No, because some races just prioritize. No, I think medium races is the best because every horse, except for like 3 or 6 horses, can win a medium race. Remove the time limit on training. It's just not an option. You just have to finish. I don't care. We don't have infinite time. We have 4 hours. They just have to fucking get it done. And if you don't get it done, you're out. I don't care. It's not my problem. If it takes somebody 6 hours and somebody, it's not an option. You're just out. If you don't get E3, you're not in. 3 hours isn't enough to hit E3 in literally any scenario. I'm going to test this tonight. I'm so confident that you're just really dumb, though. And I mean this with no shade, but I just don't believe that there's no universe that's right. But I can't test it right now. I have a dinner. I'm going to go with my mother, my beautiful mother. It took me 3 days to hit E3. That's crazy. You're slow as damn hell. You just got to be ass. Right? You just got to be like inexplicably ass. No offense. All right, let me send this to all my competitors. Scara, Sea-Dog, Pete, Northern Lion, Alex. I'm going to double check it tonight. If I'm wrong, then I'll have to probably postpone the tournament and figure something out. But if I'm right, then W can keep going. But we just have a 4-hour time limit. And if it's not feasible, then like, that's okay. GG. Maybe the answer is we just are allowed to put $5 in or something. If we can just swipe for it, we can just do that. All right. I've invited everyone. Chat, thank you all very much for tuning into today's stream. Clip channels, as always, if a video is going to be a main channel video like the story time about my birthday, please don't upload it onto a clip channel. Please check out the Mogul Moves Cowboy Bebop collab. It's available for 12 days. You can get it right now. And if it doesn't say pre-order, it should ship quite quickly. If it does say pre-order, it's going to be a bit longer. I think we still have a few items that aren't on pre-order yet. But it will still get there on pre-order. And you know what? If you buy the jacket, it'll come at the perfect time. It doesn't ship everywhere. Yeah, it's the nature of working with different brands. But anyway, chat, thank you very much.
On 40 Big Dog.
I should be live tomorrow at 10 a.m. for this tournament. I'm going to practice this. If you're a real Uma Musume head and you can hit me up in the DMs for help about E3, I'd appreciate it. If there's a workaround, I was told you need E3 to be able to do PvP. So real Musume heads, hit me up. Let me know. Guide me if I'm really wrong. But I'm out. Thank you all very much for watching. Appreciate you. First stream of age 30. Many more to come. See you later, y'all. Peace. Goodbye.